empire is invading our home. They are brutal, relentless, unstoppable. We are 80 samurai against an army, fighting to slow the invasion. Today, I die for my people.
Ghost of Tsushima is an open-world action-adventure samurai blade slicing, throat cutting, Mongol invading, Metal Gear crouching, drop dead gorgeous, Batman style beat 'em up. Game made by Sucker Punch Studios. A lot of hype with surprisingly few drawbacks. This is Wolf Invades. When I first invaded this foreign Japanese samurai land, I rated the options menu. Ghost of Tsushima has standard options like difficulty, aim assist. They don't have any colorblind options or hearing options for any impaired viewers. Difficulties range from easy to lethal, but the options that would stand out most to me are having your mask show and cutscenes, which is really big, and the Kurosawa mode. Kurosawa mode turns the game into an old Japanese style white kung fu, black and white kung fu fighter, like the old days, I guess, complete with the purposeful distorted audio and film grain.
I'd be useless.
Better useless than dead.
We're searching for missing soldiers. You're not trained for this.
I can learn. And I won't get in the way.
Fine. But be careful. And listen to your sister.
Yes, my lord.
I mean, the mode is cool and all, but I feel like it draws back from the best part of the game, the environment. Like Ghost of Tsushima, or Tsushima, however the fuck you say the island's name, is beautiful, vibrant, has a lot of colors. The color palette they use in this game is amazing. The trees stick out, the biomes are amazing, the villages and towns are unique. The details on Jin's armor are solid. The blood effects are a little at times. Like at times you see the blood floating above the ground or the surface it's supposed to be on. But the game definitely makes up for it in the environments and even some unique weather effects. Wizard. Fresh out the UFO, I was greeted with lush, vibrant colors, beautiful trees, tall grass, wind effects, and some pretty decent lighting sometimes. The island of Tsushima is a sight to behold for all eyes to see, with differing environments, like how the old trees around the golden temple are gold. Just look at these red roses, or these leaves on the ground, or this view from this death mountain, or watch me chill with this god kami shrine thing in the mountains, whatever. It's so much food for your eyes. If you don't plan on buying the game or food, I highly recommend you watch it. Frame rates were just fine. I never ran into any frame drops or delays. However, the facial animations bothered me at times. The faces were too stiff. Not as bad as Andromeda, but the introduction to the game can throw you off a bit if you notice it like I did.
Lord Shimura is my uncle.
You're Jin Sakai? The Jito's nephew?
I have to know. Did he survive?
I think so. The Mongols took him prisoner.
Luckily, you could put a mask on your character to help counter these stiff life forms in their cutscenes. But other than that, the cutscenes visually are great. Like I said, the stiffness can get annoying, as you can see in the clips. Also, I felt as the game lacks certain animations, like why can't I leave a door open, or why by the end of the game when I've mastered my weapons can I only do one takedown. Like you only can do one assassination per upgrade, but we'll get into that later. The humans in this game look okay for the first couple hours, but there's only a couple character models for each Mongol, and the bandits all look the same. For instance, you fight the same boring ass sword and shield captain every time. Like, you fight him as a regular enemy, you fight him as a boss, you fight him in as like a raid leader, fort captain thing later. They just use the same sword and shield Mongol with gold armor every time, and it's actually pretty annoying. The enemies all sound the same too. They just yell like charcoal at you. They yell like charcoal. Charcoal! Charcoal. But Jin is different though. He has a ton of armor sets in this game. Color dyes that could be mixed and matched, different hats, masks, hidden leaf headbands, skins for your bows and swords. I found myself switching armor every time I did something different. I had a traveler set that I would swap the mask and the headbands, a warrior outfit, and a sneaky dicky like outfit.
Stay frosty. Cheers, big fella. Are we rushing in, or are we going sneaky beaky like?
The weather effects were good as well. Heavy fog, rain, thunder, clear skies. Also have the ability to change them with a mechanic in the game. When you play a song through your flute, collected when you get singing crickets from cemeteries, you could change the weather effects of the game to, you know, like a nice little bonus, I guess. Though the game leaves much to be desired in animal and structure variation. There's 5 types of animals on the whole island. Bears, dogs, hogs, and the occasional deer. Oh, and foxes. But no fucking wolves. Very disappointed. There's no wolves. I'm very disappointed. The buildings are reused heavily throughout the game. The same interior and exterior throughout the island. Most buildings have like crawl spaces and hatches for stealth gameplay. Like you can crawl under the buildings and stuff to hide from Mongols. Some of these buildings are in the middle of nowhere where you never have combat. Like, ever. Sometimes I'll go into a city and I'll be like, okay, let me just, let me explore. I'll explore and I'll see some buildings have crawl spaces and crouching little hatches on the roofs and shit, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna fight here later. Nope, you never fight there ever at all. Like, it makes no sense, and you don't. It's a shame because it would offer a lot more. You rarely use these hatches and crawl. At least I never really used the crawl spaces and the hatches and stuff in terms of stealth gameplay, which is actually pretty good. Actually, speaking of gameplay,
but fuck what you heard. This for who walk down that road. Showed everything but they sold. Straight off the curb. Real niggas rich as you nerds. Address.
So the game only has a single player campaign, which sucks because there's a dueling style like mode or mechanic or whatever in the game that would be actually really good for multiplayer. And we've already seen it done in For Honor before, and to me, I think they really, shot the ball or missed the ball, whatever. Mr. Shot, blew their load, whatever the fuck they call it. I think they did all of that, and they could have had the multiplayer mode be like a dueling style thing where You don't even have to do it like For Honor where 2 people or a bunch of people. You could have just did it like Dark Souls almost, like where one person goes in. I know in Dark Souls you could do like multiple player invasions, but you could have did it where only one person goes in, fuck shit up. You guys fight, you guys see your armor sets, you create your character online, you guys see your armor sets, and yeah, it could have just been a nice little duel, and it would have been a nice change of pace for the duels, because the duels actually get very stale later. Like, they actually get really stale. There's not much variety in the duels, but I'll get to that later. But Jin has 2 styles of combat he can use. You can basically do honor or no honor, and he really just goes in there and cut everybody down one by one like a badass, or he can go in there and stab everyone one by one like a badass. It's all up to you. It's really preference, and it doesn't matter what effect, which one you choose to do, because neither of them have an effect on the story. I played the game on hard, and it was actually quite challenging. I died a couple of times. Sometimes the enemies are just like combo you. You'll die in like 2 hits, 3 hits, which is actually good because it's more realistic that way. And to me, I'm halfway decent. I'm pretty good at video games, I'm not gonna hold you. So it was actually a good, healthy challenge. The game also provides you with 4 different types of stances, is what they call it. You can have like a stone stance, which does more damage, stamina damage to sword wielders, and you can have a water stance, which deals more damage to sword and shield users. You have a moon stance, which has like a super badass judo kick, and you also have a final stance called the wind stance, which is actually, I mixed them up. It's actually the one with the badass judo kick. The moon stance is actually for the heavier brute type enemies in the game. The wind stance is for the spear users. Use them for spear users. This was okay because it gave more variety in terms of combos and stuff that you could do in the game, but you really don't get to use them much because you're usually fighting sword and shield Mongols. Like, there's not much. I guess during playtesting, they found that sword and shield Mongols gave players a hard time, so they just mass put them in the fights. Like, every fight there's a sword and shield. It's not really so much spear users. Oh, and then and sword users. But there's not many big guys for the moon stance or sword spear users for the wind stance. So. And it sucks because the wind stance has the judo kick, and I was ready to kick niggas across the map, like 300 thou boot right to the chest, breaking their rib cages, fake Mortal Kombat X-ray type shit. Like, check this fucking judo kick. This shit is crazy. That's actually one of the funnest things to do in the game, but it's sad because you don't really get to do much of that in the game. Like, but speaking of just that clip, the AI, as you can see, are kind of fucking stupid. Like, but they're only stupid when it comes to like tracking you or something. Like, it's basic stealth shit, like Metal Gear Solid type. What was that? Oh, it was just the wind. Like, stupid shit like that. I can't wait for a game to innovate on stealth in that way, but this game is mainly focused more on combat. Actually, was pretty surprised that stealth took not a big hit, but like it took the back end of it. Like, you have way more fun with the game doing it samurai style. But the game also gives you 2 types of parries, or a parry and a deflect. So you have like a basic deflect, and the window is kind of open and large for it, and then you have a parry where you perfectly time it and you slow down time, you strike, and then later on in the game you can fear them. They also have another mechanic in the game, or another like form of parry in the game of sidestep parry. So if you dodge roll or sidestep at the right moment, you slow down the time again, and you can get like a belly stab, a little cool belly stab in. You're also able to upgrade your abilities and ghost tools that you get throughout the game in a vast array of ways. So actually, I was a little overwhelmed when I first ran into the skill screen. Sorry, my Xbox on. When I first ran into the skill screen, it's a lot of upgrades, and I didn't think I was gonna get enough ability points, but you definitely get enough by the end of the game if you just do the optional Mongol war camps and farms that they raid. Also, if I did a lot of side quests, a lot, like I did a lot in this game, but yeah, you can upgrade your abilities in a lot of ways. At first, I only upgraded the combat because I thought that Jin was gonna have the story was gonna have multiple endings, and if you did the story through with more honor and fought enemies head up, I thought you would get a better ending. But no, it's the same ending. There's no different ending. So no matter what you do, you get the same old ending, which sucks because games nowadays should really give the players the choice to actually make your own ending, especially in open world RPG. Like let me make my own ending. Let me carve my blade of truth through the pathway of destiny, covered with the weeds of darkness. And what would a samurai time RPG be without bows and arrows? He has, well, 2 different types of bows, 4 different types of arrows in total. So you have a half bow that you get pretty on early, like the 3rd mission actually in the game. And this bow can be upgraded if you finish the first act side quest line, and it can shoot out fire arrows. So it's a pretty good bow. It starts becoming actually pretty trash later on because most of the Mongols have heavy armor on, and the half bow doesn't shoot through heavy armor. And they also have a long bow in the game that you get a little later, and it can shoot heavy arrows which go through the armor, and also explosive arrows. He also has other range weapons, I guess you would call them, later on, but it's like a blowgun, and they also give you like these bombs. But the bombs, I never really used these weapons because, again, I played with the honor, so I didn't really get to experience much of that gameplay. But I did later on and start, experimenting, and it actually made the game pretty easy. Speaking of easy, ghost weapons, they also are another form of like combat tool. They made the game way too fucking easy. Like the smoke bomb, as you can see, is like broken. You just throw one smoke bomb down and chain assassinate everybody. Or you could just use explosive arrows to end whole push raids of Mongols. It's ridiculous. You can use the bombs. The bombs kill people in one hit. Those are 2 range weapons that are broken. But you also have a sticky bomb. The sticky bomb killed. That's a Mongol captain that, like, what the fuck? Where this Mongolian captain eats my arrow, wrecked by my kunai. Hello? Does this make any sense? So a good way to balance these drawbacks are the predator hide upgrades for the ghost weapons. They make it to where you can have like 8 kunai, 4 sticky bombs. The sticky bombs kill people in one hit. Like, why? The smoke bombs, you can get like 3 of them. The Way of the Flame is the only one that's balanced, but that's like literally later on in Act 3. So it doesn't even, it matters, but it doesn't matter in terms of it being broken. Like, you just basically light your sword on fire. But I won't show you the gameplay because that's really Act 3. But another thing they could that'll help with that is, instead of one particular stance doing extra damage, or instead of one particular stance doing less damage, like the stone stance does less damage to shields, let it do a regular amount of stagger damage, and the other stances just do a bonus amount. So I can, later on in the game, I can change up my gameplay, use the stone stance, those combos when I want to. I don't just have to rely on the game bringing forth a spear captain for the wind stance, or a big fatty Mongol for the Mongol stance, or the moon stance. So those are ways they could just fix these drawbacks in the game. So then we have healing, which results in your resolve meter at the bottom left. Those little golden circles, they fill up every time you kill an enemy, you do a perfect parry, or deflect, things like that. they allow you to heal, even come back to life at later upgrades. You upgrade these by doing like bamboo strikes. You could do bamboo strikes. It's like a button, like mini game. You push a bunch of buttons that they're actually pretty fun. They're a nice break from gameplay. Again, later on in the game, you can have like a bunch of meter, like, and I had the charms to give me more meter every time I killed an enemy. So when you're fighting a horde of Mongols, you can just farm up resolve with parries or deflects, and you also can use the resolve meter on, like, they call it techniques, like ancient techniques. So they have like a way of the wind technique and like a 3-hit dash around the screen little combo thing you can do, and they also have one final stance in the game, but it's not related to resolve. But yeah, the meter is kind of balanced. It wasn't that hard because, again, the enemies, like I said before, they can kill you in like 2 hits. You just die instantly in 3 hits. Even in later stages, they'll kill you in like 3 hits, max 4 maybe. So that's about all I could really get into in gameplay wise without spoiling too much. So I got a little bit more gameplay to talk about, but as for the non-spoiler part, if you want my opinions on the story, you gotta watch the spoiler part. But my opinions on the story is good. It's decent. The side stories are what draw the game back. The gameplay is the most funnest part of the game. Well, that should be the most fun part of any game, right? But the game looks beautiful. The gameplay is fluid, fun. I love it, challenging at times. A lot of diversity in terms of biomes, and like I said before, a lot of eye candy. That's really it. So if you want like a opinion right now, it'd be like a 7, probably be an 8 out of 10. It's a good game. It's like a great game. It's a great game. I had a lot of fun with it. Have a lot to build upon. Maybe a 7. Have a lot to build upon. Like a lot. Not a lot, but like, you know, they could take it to the next level. For instance, there's only one set of weapons. Like, Jin has like 20 different outfits, 30 different outfits, 50 outfits, but he has 2 weapons. Like, we could get the Naginata that character later on in the game has, or like, I don't know, dual swords or something. Like, the Mongols have dual swords. Why can't we wield dual swords? I guess. But see, that's why I said the building blocks of this game are actually really good, because I can't get into it because of spoilers, but the story, it kind of diverges away from the samurai way of life, right? So in the next game, hopefully Jin can, and I guess I'll just like spoil it, could be a next game, so obviously you don't die at the end, but it's an open world game. What open world game do you die at the end? Except for like Red Dead. Red Dead's the only one that have balls to do some shit like that. But Jin can have like different types of weapons, like like I said, the Naginatas are the nunchucks, or the, I forget what it's called, but the nunchuck at the end with the blade, like the scythe, but it's a nunchuck. You know what I'm talking about? That shit is fire. Like the guy in what For Honor uses. But yeah, 7 out of 10. Next game should definitely be easy, an 8 out of 10. If they could keep all the graphics the same, the gameplay the same, just give us a little bit more variety in terms of Mongols, stances, little combos, some different weapon types. That's very needed. Some weapon types. There was no, that, it bothered me a little. It didn't bother me too much because, again, the gameplay was that fun. But if they're gonna do a part 2, they need to give you a different set of weapons. So yeah, final verdict. Well, quick verdict without going into the story, because I might get mad rewatching all these story clips. But right now it's a 7 out of 10. It's good. I advise you guys to go pick it up. You guys can pick it up for $60, full price. I recommend it full price. I had a lot of fun. The gameplay got me about 40 hours. I made around 30 videos of footage. Each gameplay video was about an hour long, so I got about 30 hours of gameplay out of it. Some of my footage is actually got corrupt. If you go watch them, they're actually really corrupt. It made me so mad. But I had to delete some videos, so about 25 hours story, 20 hour story. about another additional 20 hours in side content because I still haven't beat the full game and liberated all the Mongol camps and stuff. So about 40 hours in total package, which is good. That's bang for your buck right there. That's $60 for 40 hours. That's cool. But you know, if you're not interested in watching the spoiler part, thank you for sticking along this far, and I'll catch you guys later. But let's get into these spoilers, baby. So after killing another one of these boring, basic ass fatty bitches, something a little special happens at the end. You unlock a hidden stance in the game called, well, not hidden because this is main story, so you have to get this, but you unlock another final stance in the game called the Ghost Stance, and you get this stance by killing 10 Mongol enemies without being hit. It's actually pretty fucking hard to get. Like, you'll just get randomly tagged by an arrow, you can get hit by fire, it doesn't matter, you can take fall damage. But it's actually really worth it because you get to one-hit kill anybody you put your fucking hands on, your swords on. But you can only kill like a max of 3 people, so it's just outclassed by the infamous smoke bomb, which can wreck whole battalions. And I'm editing this first part, the gameplay part, and I realized that I forgot to mention this game has a fucking camera mode, like a real Instagram live mode. And it's actually really good. I never used it in gameplay, but when I was going through all the features for the review, it was actually really good. You could change the focal length, you could change the focus, you can make the camera tilt, you can change the weather, the facial expressions, you set up different little camera posts and positions, and you can make it do like a spin effect move, but you could also have like butterflies there, leaves. You can change it to thunder, day, night. Like, I'm doing it, I'm looking at the footage right now. I didn't even, you can change the depth of, not depth of field. Yeah, the depth of field. You can change everything. The focus distance, all this shit is crazy. But I never use it in the gameplay because it kind of slows down the gameplay and you don't really get many cool, super cool moments like this. So I really had to, like, ride my horse and jump off. Yeah, see, like particles, yellow leaves. At the end of it, I'll show you what my clip looked like at the end of it. And yeah, I had it nighttime with all the little red leaves coming down, and I changed it to where it was like a kind of just to show you the look. Went back in the first person with it, and then boom, jumped down on the Mongol, and then yeah, but that's good. It's not bad at all. I actually wish I would have played with it a little bit more. I didn't know it had all of these features. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but yeah, you could change Jin's facial expression. Like, he could be dead or have this tongue out and stuff. This shit is crazy. Yeah, it's not a bad mode. I like the photo mode. Photo mode was a good addition. Yeah, it made me happy, made me smile. Well, at the end of the game at least. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad mode to try out. I know a lot of people overlook these types of things in the videos, and see how I spent it all the way around, and I was like, wait, I got it. I can put it, make it seem like I can go, I'm diving on this fat bitch. Look at his head. Like, look, watch. Put 2 more camera points down, and then it comes together real nicely. I'll just show you the end right now. But that wraps up gameplay, honestly. I have no more drawbacks, no more comments on the gameplay. Again, 9 out of 10 in terms of gameplay. Very fun, worth it off of the gameplay and the visuals alone at this point. I didn't want to spoil that Ghost Dance part because it was a part of a main story, but in terms of gameplay and visuals, this game's wrecking shit. It's like 9 out of 10 just off the visuals alone. So if I gave it a 7 out of 10 without the spoiler, or without the story, with including the story, Obviously, the story is at least average if it brought down the game 2 points. But I'm counting the main story, the side quest, and then like the side stories basically. So you meet like a bunch of different characters in the game, and they all have their own unique, but they're not really unique, but they have their own unique side stories. And yeah, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. So the gameplay though, the gameplay is, I mean, I can't really complain. The only thing that I really could complain about again is the weapon variety, but that's it. Like, the combos are amazing, they feel really good, the sword play feels good, the sounds in the game are amazing, the bows, arrows, how you can switch between the two, not bows and arrows switch between the two, but how you can switch between bows, arrows, and the swords. The bombs, they're cool. They make the game a little bit easier, but I'm sure for a more casual experience, if you're going for a more casual experience, the ghost weapons are right up your alley. They're really fun, really stylish to use. You get slow down time with the kunais and the bombs and the blow darts and the arrows. It's really fun. You can jump off the roofs, jump kick people, you could jump stab people. I remember I said there's only one type of assassination. There's actually two. It's a regular assassination, which is the normal one that you're really gonna be doing, and then it's a group assassination, which they call a chain assassination, and you'll be able to chain together up to a maximum of 3 Mongols or bandits, whoever the fuck you're killing now. You'll be able to chain up to 3 of them and kill them all instantly. But yeah, like I said, the gameplay, to me, the gameplay is like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I mean, it draws a lot of similarities from Batman with the push, what is it on PlayStation? Square to beat people up, triangle to parry. Or actually, you don't even parry with triangle in this game. It's actually a little bit different because, well, I guess Batman, they had heavy attacks with the circle button or the B button if you're on Xbox. They had a little bit of variety that way, but this game, it improved upon the Batman style gameplay, so no, I'm not too mad about it. It's actually pretty good. Actually very decent, 9 out of 10 in terms of gameplay. And I didn't rate the visuals, but the visuals are also good, probably 10 out of 10. The visuals, they should have just gave us a little bit more character models with the Mongols and a little bit more character models with the bandits. Oh, also the structure, so I can't give it 9, it's like 8. Because the structure, like, the buildings are really reused. Like, if you play the game, you really notice the shit. It's a little annoying. It's like that. There it is. It's a little annoying, but I can't. A game like The Witcher, where the buildings are unique and shit, and Dishonored, where the levels are all like uniquely designed. It looked like they had a palette for the buildings that they wanted to use, and they just placed the buildings down. So about a 7. No. But the visuals are so good. It's like an 8. I'm sorry, I can't make up my mind. It's an 8. These aren't even the final verdicts. They don't even matter. So I give it an 8 out of visuals, 9 for gameplay. And I'm about to get into this story.
I see you at the movies. I see you with your lipstick on. I'm looking out for Cosmos.
Okay, Ghost of Tsushima starts off with the Mongol invasion of Japan, and the first characters we're introduced to are Lord Shimura.
Honor. They are what make us. We are the warriors of Tsushima.
And the main protagonist, Jin Sakai. Lord Shimura is uncle to Jin, leader of Clan Shimura. Jin Sakai is nephew to Lord Shimura and leader of Clan Sakai. Or is he like the best? I can't remember if he's like the best samurai in Clan Sakai or if he's leader of Clan Sakai. You're also introduced to Khotun Khan, the general of the invading Mongol fleet, which is kind of cool because I thought it kind of got me because I thought it was going to be Genghis, but it was Khotun, which is cool. Again, part 2. But we also meet the leader of Clan Adachi. These are the 4 people we meet in the beginning. We don't meet really anybody else.
I am Harunobu Adachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
also meet Yuna later, a little bit later. But that's after like the prologue. So after a peaceful walk down the beach on our horse, no bright days, sunny days, no problem, not a cloud in sight. We're blown up randomly by an explosion, who knows why, and we're captured. No, Shimura's captured. Yeah, Shimura's captured by the Mongols. You see him captured on his knees by Kotun and stuff.
Uncle.
Jin tries to get up and he's shot in the back by arrows. So we're passed out. We take a look at Kotun. He gets his first like words other than what he said to the Adachi guy, the clan guy. He didn't even say anything to him. He just poured his drink out on him and burnt him. Then said surrender, which was like the coldest shit. Like, why? That shit was fucked up. But he has Shimura captive, tells him to surrender, and Shimura's like, ah, fuck that, I ain't surrendering the shit. And then I thought that he just cuts his throat clean off, cuts his head clean off.
But while you were sharpening your sword, do you know how I prepared for today? I learned. I know your language, your traditions, your beliefs, which villages to tame and which to burn. So I'll ask you once again, Samurai, do you surrender?
But no, he hits him with like the back end of the sword, which is fucking stupid, because we just seen him literally burn the other leader of the clan. Like, who's Lord Shimura? Like, he burns the other leader. He captures Lord Shimura, I guess. But somebody, like, whoever's a professional samurai, blade, watermelon, fruit ninja, tell me, if you hit somebody with the back end of a sword, do they still not die? Like, I thought it would still be sharp. Like, if I hit you in the back end of a knife, I mean, I'm sure you'll die. If I'm a grown-ass Mongol, 200-pound, fully muscled out, beefed up man, I just walk around burning people with the goblet of fire. Like, I should kill you, one hit you with any part of the sword. So moving forward, we see that Jin is still alive, obviously, and he's patched up by the next character we meet, which is Yuna. And so Jin wakes up and he needs his armor. He's like, what the fuck is my armor and my honor? Where's my sword? And he can't find shit. He goes all the way down to where the Mongols are invading, like, nearby village.
How did I get here?
To me, the game was moving pretty fucking fast, because I was just walking through the Mongols, like, it was like, what the fuck, they don't see me? Like, I was like, okay. So we get to this house, Yuna's there. Yuna's like, what the fuck are you doing? Get your ass down. Somebody's knocking on the door, open up, charcoal. And he comes in there. He's not asking for charcoal this time, he's asking for rice. And Yuna kicks his ass.
Please, hide. Oh, don't hurt me!
Shield Lumini! Rice!
I have some rice. Please take it.
So I liked her little character intro because she appears as a helpless damsel. Then as the Mongol turns his back, she just guts his ass. Like, I'm like, okay, like, go ahead, Yuda. Then she does this like kind of cringe ass look at you, like, follow me if you want to live. It's like, okay, like, chill out, I'm still a samurai, bitch. Like, move. actually going deeper into her character, you find out that it kind of makes sense that she did this. And we find out later that, like, I was asking the whole time, like, why the fuck did you rescue me, bitch? It's like 100 samurai on the island. Why the fuck, why am I here? And she's like, oh, I need you to get off the island, da 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 da. Why would one random samurai soldier help you off the island? But we come to find out that she is robbing the graves of the samurai soldiers, which is cool. So she's actually scavenging the beach for supplies, and she just found us so we can help her off the island. So the moment, so we're going down, whatever, looking for our sword. We can't, our armor's broken, so we can't really do nothing with that, but we're looking for our sword. Apparently she sold our sword already. I don't know how long we were unconscious, but we were unconscious enough for the Mongols to take over half the island and for Yuna to sell our sword, which is convenient, I guess. So we go get our sword back, and the moment we get our sword back is when Jin's character comes out. Now, Jin was kind of a big dumbass to me. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Fuck that. We're about to go fight him. She's like, wait, hold on. It's like 50 niggas. 100 niggas outside. It's 100 Crips on the lawn. Just like, oh, fuck all that. I'm big blood. I'm going out. I'm about to start swinging shit.
We can get close, slit their throats, and kill them without a sound.
Without honor, I will not break my code.
Face me, invader!
So he goes out, starts swinging. He kills like 2-3 Mongols, right? And then, as little bit later on, we find out Lord Shimura is still alive, right? So we're about to attack a full ass fort, just Jin and Yuna. I don't know why they, like, the game, I guess they were just trying to get you through the tutorial as fast as they could.
Castle Kaneda.
They're holding your uncle inside. We could cause a distraction. Sneak in.
No. We walk in the front gate. Khotun Khan set fire to our best swordsman. Humiliated my uncle. Butchered the warriors of Tsushima. I'm going to repay his kindness.
By repeating the same mistakes that got your friends killed.
But they didn't need to do that. Like, we could have just... We could have did without the first part of the story, because Jin, they just go in there, both of them. You fight Khotun, you do like a pre-boss fight, like Dark Souls, where you're supposed to lose. And you do like a pre-boss fight.
Jin! Your uncle has told me much about you, Jin Sakai. I will show him his nephew, broken and humiliated, begging to join the Mongol Empire. Jin! This is your time, Lord Sakai.
Get your ass handed to you. Instead of, again, plot armor, instead of Khotun killing you like he fucking should, he just throws you off of the map. So yeah, Jin wants to go through the front gate because of his honor code, and once he gets to Khotun, he gets his ass thrown off of the 360, thrown off the map, and he lands in the water, and he lives again.
Enough. Surrender. Show your uncle how easily he can bring peace to your home. Save yourself.
But we also find out through a backstory, after he survives or whatever, we gonna find out through a backstory about what happened, his relationship a little bit with Shimura, and what happened with his dad.
Father.
Jin. Help me.
Yes.
You're not alone, Jin. Your father is the wind at your back. Your mother, the birds in the trees.
We'll carry on his legacy.
So we kind of figure out why he's so hell-bent on this honor code and why he's gonna struggle later on in the story, conflicting with it and battling with it throughout, you know, your adventures. So Jin walks ashore on the beach, and then the spirits come. I mean, the wind, the calling wind, it comes, which is actually funny because Shimura tells him that his father is the wind on his back guiding him or something like that. He says that in the cutscene. I'll play it. And the wind starts to guide us or whatever, and Jin, the whole, like, they dropped the ball a little bit with, they could have went like a little magical with the story. Like, there's no hints of like, it doesn't have to be like dragons, but like a lot of people, they tell you about demons and stuff in the story, but you don't really get to fight any of the demons. Like, they're really not that, like, they're not hardcore, they're not really thugging, they ain't really out here like the Mongols. The Mongols is really about that life. Like, the demons is really not about that life. So it was actually a shame to not fight any of these ancient demons that people were scared of, because Jin didn't believe in none of them at all. Jin's like, you go to a side story, bitch, and she's like, yo, the Kappa, they got my husband or my brother or some shit. And then Jin's like, huh, yeah, fucking right, bandits. He goes over there and it's bandits. So anyways, it'd been cool to like fight something different, but you do get one chance later on in the story to fight something a little bit mythological, whatever the fucking word is. You get one chance, and it's like, but he kind of poisons you, it makes you hallucinate, so it kind of doesn't count. Kind of does, kind of doesn't, because the little duel is actually pretty cool. And so we follow the wind, so Jin's following the wind, and we meet up back with Yuna, and we let some Mongol patrol pass, and after that, like, we set up a spot to meet back up. We find out that Yuna's brother is a blacksmith. His name is Taka. He wants to be, he's captured right now. He's being held as a slave somewhere. And Yuna wants us to go save him because since he's a blacksmith, he can make us, he's like the best blacksmith on the island or something, master blacksmith. And he can make us a grappling hook so we can scale the walls. So after the final conversation with Yuna, the map finally opens up and you can explore the first part of the island at your leisure. You can do any of the side quests in any order you want, liberate any of the camps in any order you want. Basically, you can do whatever you want. The game opens up, it's an open world game, and you're tasked with rescuing Lord Shimura. And the way you do that is you gotta find the archers of Clan Nagao. They're like a clan of just the most badass archers on the planet. You have to find the swordsmen of the Adachi clan, which is the same thing but for swords. And you find the extra swords, the Straw Hat Ronin, just to have extra soldiers when you raid the castle. And finally, last but not least, you're tasked with finding Taka, Yuna's brother, for the grappling hook. So that's Yuna's objective, you know, fuck her. Anyways, the main story, what we're on, we have to go get, you know, like bust the homies out type. We going in, going back to the Grove, CJ.
Don't expect me to kiss your ass or nothing. You still a buster to me.
You gotta go break out an archer named Ishikawa, who's like really, they're all like, the side stories, I'm telling you guys, they really dropped the ball on. All of them have like a hell-bent on revenge. It's really stupid. Ishikawa, actually Norio, won't meet later, is a little different, but our Jin's first main objective is to recruit lost samurai to go check on the other samurai to see if there's still people alive. So his mission is to get Ishikawa, some lady named Lady Misako, the wife actually of the guy that was, turned into s'mores in the beginning. Yuna's brother. That's also part of Jin's mission, but Yuna and Jin's missions are kind of separate in the beginning. And he also has to go find more just mercenary soldiers, so he wants to go enlist the help of the Ronin Straw Hats. Each characters, each person I just named, each have their own little side stories, except for Taka. He actually doesn't. They each have their own side story and quest, along with their own character development, which is good. So, in my playthrough, I met Ishikawa first, the archer. And when you first come into contact with him, you find out he was recently attacked. And you're like, who the fuck attacked you? Like, what the fuck going on? He's like, bandits attacked me. And I was like, oh, okay, bro. But we believe him because I just met them. I don't know, like, if he lying or not. So fuck him. So come to find out later during the mission, he was actually attacked by one of his students, his only student, because he gave up teaching. He left his clan. He's part of Clan Nagao. The Clan Nagao is like a super badass archer clan. They be posted up on the block with like 40 arrows, fire arrows. You already know they got the 40, they got the drink, they got the weed, they got the bitches. Clan Nagao is really about it. So he left or retired. That's the story. He retired from Clan Nagao. Kind of like the CJ, isn't he? Like, he's actually kind of like CJ. So he ain't really with all that shit no more. He's like, alright, I'm leaving. So you find out he's attacked by his teacher, and then it's the first time Jin's like, well, what the fuck is wrong with you? But we're gonna get into each character's side story, like, individually. So I'll talk about Ishikawa in a minute. But main story wise about Ishikawa is we find out his student joined the Mongols, and she's planning an attack on a nearby village, and we basically help him out. Once we help him out, do a couple missions for him, he says, I'll lend you my bow if you plan to help me find Tomoe. And you basically do it because, why not?
I'll need you at Castle Canada.
My bow is yours, but Tomoe isn't done yet. We must keep hunting her.
We will.
And the next person I met was Misako. Masako is like the wife of, S'more guy. And she's actually a girl samurai, which is really cool. It's really interesting, equality. And you go to the Adachi estate to find out that most of the clan was slaughtered by unknown assailants. And you do little tracking missions, like there's a lot, this actually happens a lot in the game. You see tracks on the ground and you follow them to an area or a location, like The Witcher, actually. I kind of really like The Witcher. You follow a bunch of tracks on the ground, follow to a location. Usually the people aren't there. Some of the missions get repetitive, but what can you do? It's 40 hours of gameplay, it's gonna get repetitive at some point. So we track her horse down. She's almost about to kill us, and we say we come in peace, all that. And we find out that her family was killed. She just finished burying her sister, her I don't remember who she buried. She buried a bunch of people. I'm sorry, Masako, don't forgive me, but she buried a bunch of people.
Clan Adachi is dead. Massacred by our own people. Tried to save them, but the assassins caught them on the road. Cut them down. My sister, my grandchildren, even little Natsu. She was just born.
And we're searching for the people that killed her mission is to search for the people that killed her, family, like Batman or something, or Spider-Man, like with Uncle Ben. So you go to some place, kill some peoples, and afterwards you find out that she says, oh, okay, well, it's part of a bigger, badder plot. So she's like, well, I'll lend you my blade if you help me kill these people.
When you need help rescuing your uncle, I will be there.
Thank you, Lady Masako.
Until that time, I have work to do.
So it's kind of like when I was playing, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of a pattern. Like, I'm gonna find somebody, they're gonna need help with something, which is fine. That's usually side quests, but with them, it was they're gonna need me to kill somebody. It was never like, let's rebuild this, or let's progress here, or let's try to drive the Mongols. It was never even the Mongols either. Like, nobody had beef with the Mongols except Norio. Norio is actually one of the most different side story quests, and they kind of ruined him. I'll get into Norio. I was a little upset about Norio. Then on the search for soldiers are extra blades to help with the attack on Castle Canada is what it's called. Kaneda, not Canada, where healthcare is like good A and shit. But you find out that the Straw Hats are actually attacking caravans, and after finding them, you find out that your childhood friend Ryuzo is leading them.
Jin Sakai.
Ryuzo, you look like a scarecrow.
You've looked better too. Can I have my hat?
You're a mercenary now.
Professional warrior.
Maybe you can help me. I'm looking for your leader.
He died on Komoda Beach.
And like they're super hungry or something like that. You actually find they give you a hint that the Straw Hats have been hungry for a long time. And since I'm mentioning this, you probably can already guess this comes into play in their story.
Straw Hats are hurt, starving. I can't ask them to risk their lives for one man.
You help me find food, I lend you my blades, and shit like that. But at least there's this food. That's cool. But you raid, and with the Straw Hats you raid and raid and raid, and you never find food at any of these Mongol camps. So you go on like 3 or 4 different missions in the beginning. On like 4 different missions, you raid a camp, you go from a camp to like a fort, you go from a fort to like a boat, you go from a boat to like Ryuzo's men get captured, and then you go rescue them. None of these places had food. Like, what the fuck are the Mongols eating? Like, fuck that. They ate everything right before we got there. It don't make sense. Like, if you see these Mongol characters, they're huge. They're way more built than the Japanese characters. So why the fuck is there no food? There's no rice, there's no beans, there's no broccoli, no vegan shit. Like, please, come on. So eventually his men are captured, and that's when you go to the fort to go and, rescue them. And we get to the camp, we find out his men are singing, and the Mongols fed them. So the one time they get food, the Mongols fed them, which is like, what? This is super dark. And the Mongols are so bloodthirsty. They be hanging people from trees, burning people. Why the fuck are you feeding the Straw Hat Ronin? So you meet Ryuzo, and again, I'm gonna go into deeper, darker with all these characters later, but you meet Ryuzo, and he takes you back to the camp, and he gives you the Straw Hat outfit, which is nice. Again, a lot of outfits in the game. No weapons, but a lot of outfits, fashion shows. Anybody that likes to dress up, the game's amazing. And yeah, that's really it for the beginning part of Ryuzo in terms of the main story. Again, there's a deeper, darker for all these characters, but just the main story right now, we're gonna focus on that. Now, last but not least, certainly not least, because he's the backbone of the operation. He gave us the whole grappling hook thing. Is Taka, Yuna's brother, and Kenshi. I forgot to mention my boy Kenshi, because Taka is the main objective. However, on the way to get Taka, we meet with a sake seller named Kenshi.
I love the kid, but this is too dangerous. It will never work.
Kenshi's kind of like a swindler, sneaky swiper, no swiping type guy. So he's gonna smuggle us in, and he empties out a barrel of his sake, and we hide in the barrel, and he sneaks us into the fort because he's been selling sake to the Mongols. Obviously, Jin, Mr. Honor, stick up his ass, is like, no, don't do it. Why are you selling him sake? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You get into Osmo Bay, and you actually find out, you get a little like they could really expand on these things, but they didn't. But again, first game, second game, they're gonna knock it out the park. I believe in them. But we get into the camp and we find out that there's another guy. Taka has been forced to make them weapons, right? We come across some guy who's like, oh, okay, let me I want to be the blacksmith. Like, I want to be the Mongol dog. I want to be the best doggy. It's like, what? He tells the Mongol captain, bandit leader, whatever the fuck they were following, sword and shield guy probably, like, I don't know how to clip up right now, but watch. But we follow him, and he comes across this traitor, and he's like, yo, Taka, he's not really doing well. He's sabotaging you guys. Kill him, make me leader. It's like, kick him and make me leader. Back out, make me party leader.
Your blacksmith, Taka. His work is shoddy. I think he's sabotaging you.
Wait, Taka's here.
He is only blacksmith.
Oh, I'm a blacksmith too. And I'll do much better work.
So it's like, okay. So he takes us to Taka. We kill that guy. We save Taka. And that's if Azamo Bay. Now with Azamo Bay, it was kind of silly because we had to sneak in with the sake barrel. But literally like a mission later, maybe like, yeah, I did it the next mission because I wasn't just going, I'm Moses with it, baby. Let my people go. I went in there. I'm like, yo, this is how y'all living? For sure. I'm busting everybody out. So we go to the next mission. The next mission, we literally sneak in from a broken fence. The fence is broken. I don't know why we had to sneak in from a barrel and meet Kenshi, but you know, plot, whatever, cool. Also, after gathering your allies, their side quests will pop up around the map. So you have the option to end their current side quests, but they all have a set amount of side quests or side stories. Because side quests and the side stories were a little different. These stories were consistent. The side quests were kind of just, hey, Mongols are here, get them. Hey, Mongols are there, get them. There's only a few side quests that really stood out. With the side stories, they pop up and there's only a limited amount of them per act. So there's only like 4 you can do Act 1, 5 you can do Act 2, and then you can finish it off with like the remaining 2 for Act 3. And so shortly after freeing Taka, or we'll call him Sokka from Avatar. But shortly after freeing Taka, he builds you the grapple hook. You like raid a planet called Kamatsu Forge. It's a village that's been taken over by the Mongols, like what every other village has been taken over by the Mongols. And then he makes you the grapple hook, so you can scale the walls of the castle. And then right after, Ryuzo comes through and he's like, yo, my men's been captured. Help me, Jin. And it's like, okay, my guy.
An iron hook with a rope attached to the end. You can use it to climb walls, swing over things.
It'll hold my weight?
I tested it myself. I call it a Kaginawa.
It's perfect. I'm in your debt.
No, it's a gift. I have my sister, my home, my life. That's enough.
The Mongols have captured my best fighters.
Really, nigga?
Sorry, bro. You Straw Hats is trash. Then on the way there, to help Ryuzo, some of his men backed out and left. These Straw Hats is trash. I would have never asked the Straw Hats for help if I was Jin. Who the fuck? Get them the fuck out of here. So after acquiring the necessary human pawns to raid this space station they call a Castle Canada, whatever that is, Jin meets with his allies once more to plan for the siege, and everybody shows up except that trash ass Ryuzo. That nigga is trash. Stay away from them fucking Straw Hats. They are trash. So I already assumed that that Ryuzo would come later. Like, we've seen that type of stuff before in video games and movies where the guy doesn't show up and then later on he's like, did you miss me? And then he comes in with a rocket launcher blowing shit up. He's like, oh, he came. I thought he abandoned us. Woo. It's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, oh, Ryuzo's gonna come later. we're gonna be mid-fight, we're gonna be getting our ass kicked, he's gonna come save us. But actually, he just betrays you.
The Khan put a bounty on the ghost. Anyone can claim it.
You wouldn't.
My men are starving, Jin.
Because food. Yes, he betrays you over food, which doesn't make any sense to me. Because if he's that, bro, this is a whole ass castle that we're about to raid. Why not just raid the castle? You don't think there's no fucking food here? Are you fucking stupid? Like, are you like I almost used a bad word. Are you mentally challenged, Ryuzo? Like, what he's doing doesn't make any sense. We're literally about to raid where the Khan is staying. So Khotun Khan has been staying at this castle for the longest, right? We get little glimpses and flashbacks of him talking to Lord Shimura.
I'm told your nephew stalks my men, tears them apart like a beast.
I'm certain you've done worse.
And while he's talking to Lord Shimura, he's telling him about Jin and how Jin is, you know, I have found blades in the back of my men. So who the fuck is you? That could have been anything. Like, why I gotta be one? First off, why I gotta be Jin? Second off, how the fuck you know which direction I stabbed them in? Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, people dead in they sleep is different, but also me, I try my hardest to steer away from stabbing people in the back. So I don't know why they really should have changed that, because the first you do like one takedown, right? The mission where you learn how to do takedowns. It's a flashback, and Lord Shimura is about to be stabbed by an assassin in the back, and Jin's like, man, you bitch ass nigga, what the fuck, you gonna attack like that, pussy? Pull up. Like, hey, what's up? Pull up, nah, pull up.
An assassin! From Yarikawa! Traitor! You would stab the Chido in the back! Rosakai! Control yourself. We are not criminals, like this man here. We are samurai.
He tried to kill you! He must answer for this crime with his life.
And look him in the eye. And teach him that samurai never acts out of anger or fear. And take his life with honor.
Shimura's like, yo, calm your ass down, calm your little ass down. And Jin's like, nah, keep tripping. And Lord Shimura's like, don't let your emotions get the best of you. And then Jin shut that ass right up, because he like, man, you right, man. I let him get to me. So, but he was inflicted, the assassin was inflicted with like a deadly wound, so there's no, I mean, he was gonna die, but it's like a little story, a little backstory about why Jin doesn't like stabbing people in the back, I guess. So then there's another, when you do, this one is just not random, but you have to do enough assassinations to get it, and that's why I thought that this game was a choice.
Hear him around here.
Jin! We looked him in the eye. With courage. Only cowards strike from the shadows.
Forgive me, Uncle.
Because I did some random assassination on some random ass bandit, and I got a cutscene, and I was like, oh shit. And then at the end of the cutscene, this guy's like, forgive me, Unc. And about Khotun keeping Shimura, I was very baffled by this, because again, this is the same guy that poured the 40 out on the dead homies all over Adachi and then burned his ass right there for no reason. So why are you keeping Lord Shimura alive? Killing him would reduce morale way more, but instead he kept him alive for plot's sake. So every time you talk to Shimura, it was surrender. It's like, yo, bruh, he ain't surrendering. Leave the nigga alone. Like, stop asking him to surrender, bruh. Like, it's not happening. So let it go. But Khotun is Khotun. I guess he kills when he wants to kill. He it's just stupid to me. But and it sucks because he had such a good little intro with the whole, you know what I did? I was honing while you were sharpening your blade, I was learning. I was sharpening my mind. I studied your people. I know which villages to burn and which ones that are weak that I could take over. It's like, damn, why didn't we see any more of that? Like, you don't see any smart Mongol warfare at all. Like, there should be a bunch of Mongols dressed as Japanese people that could have been a little like an XCOM. They got the mimics, or I think they're called mimics, whatever those big ass pink blob shits are that turn into people, or turn from people to big ass ugly blob shits. But I don't understand why he kept Shimura alive. And then at the end, when you go to raid the castle, it's actually funny. When you go to raid the castle, he's like, the day you're going to go raid the castle is the day Khotun is leaving, right? He tells Shimura, I'm gonna leave you to starve. What? Why? Like, just kill him. Like, I never understand that with villains.
I look forward to visiting it, while I leave you here to starve to death, alone, without honor.
What? And they, again, this could easily have been solved with, oh, I'm about to kill you, get ready for your execution, we're executing you tomorrow, or something. Like, you're not surrendering, we're gonna execute you in front of your people tomorrow. And then we raid the castle that day. Khotun flees, takes Ryuzo bitch ass with him. Perfect. It's perfect. Why the fuck does Khotun leave the day I'm pulling up? I'm pulling up. Why you gone? Pussy, pull up. Like, anyways, back to this hungry ass bitch Ryuzo. So yeah, this guy Khotun is sitting at this castle. You don't think his fucking food there is fat ass eating? Like, what? Come on, bro. Come on. Like, we're about to raid the castle. Jin hasn't eaten. The main character never eats shit. It actually bothers me in video games when they don't let you feed the main character. Jin hasn't eaten shit. Why the fuck are you so hell bent on food? So anyways, Ryuzo betrays us. We whoop his ass. He barely gets away with his life. Ooh, spooky. Like, I'm like, man, fuck that guy. I don't even know him. And I understand that the game was kind of pushing for an emotional tie here, but they should have did it. They could have did it with Yuna, because the main character, we don't know Ryuzo, like, at all. He didn't save our life in the main game. He didn't, Yuna held kept our armor, sold our sword, but fuck, we found it. Like, it would have worked better with Yuna or somebody like that, or maybe Lord Shimura, but he's too focused on her for that to ever happen. So, but it's like, why do I care about this childhood best friend that I didn't get to play the childhood for? Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't really hit well with me. It just made me mad that he was just built like a bitch, so I had to handle Ryuzo. So I'm like off with Ryuzo head. Fuck all that. Like, I want him gone. So Jin saves Shimura. Jin actually it's a team effort. So Jin, Ishikawa, Misako, Taka, Kenshi, they all showed up. They were all there. They all helped Yuna. Everybody helped. They saved Lord Shimura. Now Lord Shimura is back in charge. I kind of don't like how Lord Shimura didn't give Jin any type of respect. He was just like, thank you, I love you, but I'm in charge now, I'm running shit. It's like, yo, hold on, bro, I was just running shit. Well, you kind of weren't leading anybody or running anything. You were just, running shit, like taking these Mongol camps single-handedly, fucking shit up, banging on the ops. Fuck them, fuck the ops. Like, Jin was really thugging out here on his own. I like it. I love it. But you take Lord Shimura, not take Lord Shimura, you save Lord Shimura. He gets his castle, he gets his armor. He actually starts to get men, and then that's basically the end of Act 1. That's not basically, it's the end of Act 1. Saving Lord Shimura is the end of Act 1. We get a flashback, or a flash forward, or a flash present. What is it when we're transported to where the fuck bitch ass Khotun and fuckboy Ryuzo is, and they're in front of this castle, the next castle that we gotta raid. Like, this guy's like Bowser. Fuck Bowser. He's at the next castle that we have to raid with Princess Ryuzo, and he's like, let us through. Like, he's just telling the fucking Japanese to let them through and surrender. And they actually have archers set up on the castle walls. None of them fire. None of them at all. It made no sense to me. I'm like, just shoot his ass. Like, they have 3 hostages, right? And Ryuzo still ain't got his food. He ain't got his bread yet. His morsel, he ain't got his bread, bro.
You promised food for my men. Earn it.
Let them in!
Like, what is you doing? He's still hungry. He hungry. This nigga Kotun, boss ass, come through and is like, yo, earn your shit, nigga. Like, earn this food. And Ryuzo's like, please, no. And he's like, nah, bro, you about to burn this nigga. Or earn your food. So Ryuzo, and by his own hand, it's a choice. I like that Kotun did that because it gave him a choice. He had to prove his loyalty. So it was your choice. Or not, I'm saying like he's a real person. It's your choice, Ryuzo. That was your choice. You didn't have to burn that man, but you did. So Ryuzo ended up burning the guy for food. He's about to burn the next one. He starts crying. He's like, no, open the gate. I guess to show you that he still cares a little bit. Nah, fuck that. You sold your people out for food, bruh. It's what the fuck? They food grows out the ground, bro. You know what they say? Money don't grow on trees, bro. Food grow on trees. You ain't got no apple trees out in Tsushima. No lemons, pears, peaches, nothing. No corn. What the fuck? You didn't go to no farm. Why you didn't raid no farms, bro? This guy's stupid. Like, who is this guy? Who mans is this? This was our mans. This was our mans in the past. This is our mans. Fuck that. This guy's a reason. Nah, fuck that. So you raid and then they just open the gates. They just open the gates. They walk right in. They didn't put up not one lick of fight. Nothing happened. The Mongols just walk right in. Later on in Act 2, the people of Yarikawa, which is a small ass village filled with no soldiers. They have no soldiers. They're called the Yarikawa rebels. They don't have any soldiers. But they people was ready. They were a bunch of farmers ready to thug shit out, fight, fuck them up. And we fought and we won. The people at the castle, they didn't put up not one fight. There were archers lined up. Why didn't nobody shoot an arrow? Like, at least show us images or pictures of dead Japanese soldiers on the floor. Like, just put sprinkled little bodies on the ground. So it could be like, oh, okay, a fight already ensued here. We don't have to, we can assume that they already fought and they lost and now they're at castle walls. No, there was no fight. They just walked up. Yo, let me in. Let me burn this guy. Now let me in. And they let him in. What the fuck? We have a castle full of 500 to 1,000 people. Why are you letting in one people? One people. Why are you letting in a group of fucking Mongols that's gonna enslave you? You would take slavery over that one guy? Yo, take one for the team, bro. Yo, Shino, whatever your name is, take one for the squad. You might have to go, bruh. I'm sorry. And then we're thrown into Act 2. Amazing, right? Time flies. So, in terms of main plot, nothing really interesting happens in Act 2. You go to some lighthouse with Shimura. You turn the lighthouse on to signal the Khan that you're coming. And Shimura tells you that he's not giving Yuna safe passage unless you give her, unless she proves her worth or some shit like that. Which is stupid because she just helped me save you, so just let her ass go. But she has to get the people of the Yarikawa rebellion. That's one of the people that tried to assassinate Lord Shimura in the beginning, or in that cutscene that I was telling you about. And now he put down that rebellion, so they waged war on that rebellion or whatever, and now the people of Yarikawa actually don't like Shimura.
Yarikawa has plenty of warriors, if their walls haven't fallen.
I put down the Yarikawa rebellion Its people have no love for me.
I know. I grew up there.
Is that where you learned to steal?
So, I mean, I guess they didn't like him in the first place if they tried to assassinate him. But they don't like Shimura, so it's going to be hard to acquire those allies. So we tasked Yuna to do it because Yuna and Taka are from Yarikawa. Shimura also wants to contact the Shogun on the mainland so he can send reinforcements to help with the invasion. And Jin asks, how are we gonna get the message to the mainland? He says I have unsavory friends of my own. And he mentions a pirate named Goro in Omugi Cove. Omugi Cove is basically like what was that Riften in Skyrim, that thieves guild? It's basically like that. It's like a little underground town for thieves, but it's not underground, but it's like underground in terms of it's like low key, hush hush, nobody really knows. It's ran by a girl, which is cool, and unfortunately you don't get any real lore or backstory about Omugi Cove except for one side quest there, and that's it. The side quest doesn't even do much. It's like a map to something, and then the lady tells you it's a map for rations for her people, but Jin's like, nah, it's bullshit, bitch. Like,
How we get a message to the mainland?
I have unsavory friends of my own. A pirate named Goro in Omugi Cove owes me a debt.
If he's alive, I'll find him.
Bring him to me at our old hunting camp.
we also meet Norio, which is the other side quest character that helps you on your journey to slow or stop the Mongol invasion as 80 samurai. But Norio you find at the camp that you and Shimura raid with Yuna that you were seeing clips of. Norio was there and he was like buried, not buried, but they had him trapped under some big ass like hole in the ground, but it wasn't like big. It was like 30 men could fit in there, and they kept him in there, no sunlight, no nothing, and they would take him out one by one, questioning them. These are the warrior monks, so they're not samurai, they're not the archers or anything. They're the monks, but they're like warrior monks. So they go pretty deep into this side story in Act 2 about Buddha and how everyone could be like Buddha if you walk peacefully. It's actually a really good storyline. Norio had the most unique storyline in the beginning. They fucked it up at the end, which is, oh man, oh my god, Norio.
Covered pit, no food, so dark I couldn't see my hands in front of my face. I think they took Jogon out first. We heard him struggling and shouting. Then shouts turned to screams.
Yeah, the side quests actually carry Act 2 more than anything. Norio's quest is good. Misiko's quest starts picking up. Ishikawa. We actually see Tomoe. Because until then we haven't, up until Act 2, I think the final mission of Act 2, we don't see Tomoe. But we actually see Tomoe this time. Yuna gets her own side quest. Act 2 is basically side quest central. It's not really anything main story wise. The only other main story thing that we do is the Yarikawa rebellion mission. Not the rebellion mission, but freeing the people of Yarikawa. So they're when we get there with Yuna and Taka, the city is under siege, or it's about to be under siege. If you are familiar with siege warfare, it's already under siege. So the Mongols are camped out the city and they're just waiting to attack, and they're trying to make negotiations to end as less amount of people die the better or whatever. And people Yarikawa ain't going for that bullshit, so they're like, fuck all up. And we getting ready to fuck shit up. So we go in there like, yo, need help, brother? And he's like, nah, bruh, you from where? You from them Shimura niggas? Nah, we don't play with y'all. So he refuses our help at first. but I think they hint at the fact that some of their archers went missing. So you go get their archers for them, you bring them back. He's like, oh, well, you brought my archers back. Well, fuck it. I see you're not as different as me. And then he allows us to help. But I don't think it really mattered because they were breaking down the fucking gates. So we had to help either way it go. But that mission was really good. That's actually the mission where you get the ghost dance. To get Goro out of the coast, we also have to take some fort, and us taking the fort, we capture Huacha. It's like a ballista. It's like a big ass fiery multi-arrow ballista that we use to shoot at the ships on the shore, and it helps guide Goro and 2 of Shimura's men out to the mainland. So he gets the message to the mainland. Then a little later on, reinforcements arrive, and then we have to go, before we can finish that, the act 2, we have to go and take out Ryuzo. But and they also, speaking of Ryuzo, they also have since the Straw Hat Ronin are now, they're all branded traitors. So now they have these side quests, these duels pop up around the map, which are cool, but they get stale. So the side quests pop up around the map. They're not even. It's not a side. It is a side quest, but I didn't know it was a side quest at first. And they pop up around the map to these duels, and you can fight each Straw Hat Ronin one by one, right? The problem is they have the same moveset as the regular Straw Hat Ronin. Like all the duels are the same. They all have the same moveset. They could have had like different sword styles, different sword styles, different, like some of them could have fought dirty, used kunais, and things like that. They'll do better next time, but you could have had better duels, more complicated duels, more unique. They're not even complicated, just make them more unique. Like the only people that really stand out, only thing that really stands out about the duels is the location. So I guess the location's what they were aiming for. But other than that, the main story, or the story, is really carried by side quests in Act 2. They really banked on the fact that you would be interested enough after Act 1 to do a side quest. And how can I forget the badass clan Sakai armor that you get for returning home? You're supposed to return home, right? And retrieve your father's armor. It hasn't been worn since he died. Jin was like too pussy to wear it. So we get home and there's this old woman there, Yuriko. So we reach for the armor like it's a ring, and we're Smeagol Lord of the Rings. And we basically just hear the supercharge up. And we turn around and we see fucking Akuma about to raging demon us and body perfect victory body us.
How dare you! Oh, young master. I feared you.
Thank God it was just Yuriko, because if it was anybody else, we would have got bodied. Straight body. Jin asks her to make poison, and Jin unlocks a new weapon, like a new stealth weapon as well, with poison. And even then you get, I don't remember specifically, forgive me, if it was a cutscene, or if he just said, forgive me, uncle, or something. Like, he told himself that it was mandatory to use these things to win.
But we must set an example for our people by remaining true to our code and to ourselves.
The poison's just for now. After the Mongols are gone.
And then I'm sure of it. That's it in terms of main story. In terms of like advancing up until the point where we raid the next castle like Mario. And the last castle, before we can raid the last castle, so Shimura's reinforcements are already there. We're already lined up, roaring and ready to go. Jin's dumbass. So after you do the Yarikawa thing, Shimura upholds his word. Of course he does. He upholds his word. And he's like, yo, I'll let her go. Like, she proved her worth. Go ahead. You're on the next boat to the mainland, basically. And Jin, alright, Shimura finds out that Ryuzo is in a nearby fort, right? Now, Jin has never asked a bitch for help once. Like, never. We don't ask nobody for help, we do it all ourselves. Right? This nigga asked Yuna for help as soon as he gets word of the mission, right? And not only does Yuna say no, Jin asks his dumb ass again, like, you sure, brother? And Taka's standing right there like, yo, you're not gonna help this nigga out?
Please understand. I spent my life working for this. Going to bed hungry. Risking my neck so we'd have enough money to start a new life on the mainland. I can't give up now.
I'm not asking you to. Help me defeat Ryuzo, and I'll see you off myself.
This is your battle, Jin. Not mine. All I want, all we need is to start a new life.
I won't stop you then. Thank you, Yuna. For everything. I hope you find peace.
It's like, yo, Jin, it broke character, because, like, Jin doesn't ask for help. He does it all himself. Why the fuck am I asking you for help? And Yuna stayed up. She the hell no. You doing that on your own, bro. I gotta go. I am not staying here not 1 second longer. Get me the fuck out of here. So after you give her that smug ass, may you find peace. Like, bitch, get the fuck. Yeah, she gonna find peace. Nigga at home. Where she going? She going to the mainland. Let her travel, brother. Like, that shit was annoying. So we tell her to, you know, get out of here. Beat it, punk. I don't need you anyway, kid. And I just can't stress enough how upset I was. Like, I've liberated Azamo Bay by myself. I've slaughtered hundreds of Mongols by myself. I fucking put down the siege to Hiyoshi Springs with the help of Ishikawa, but by myself, because he's old and he can't shoot straight for shit. So I've done all these things by myself. Why the fuck are you asking for help now? So you get to the fort, right? We're at the fort, and before we even get the fuck in, guess who shows the hell up? Taka.
Us away. I won't let you do this alone. If Yuna won't come with you, then I have to.
You're not trained for this.
In Yarikawa, you said we can save our home if we stand together. I stand with the ghost.
I can't pit you against Mongols. If anything happened...
At least let me create a distraction. Draw some of them away. Even the odds for you.
All right. But when they chase you, ride back to camp as fast as you can.
I won't let you down.
The one he do not fight. And recently he was in the story, like when we go to get the archers, he says, let me fight, I can do it. And when we fought the archers, I made sure I was over his ass with the arrow. Like, ain't nobody gonna touch you. You good, bro. Just go in there and prove your worth. I know these bitches be hating on you, my nigga. Get in there. Show them what's good. So he shows up at the fort and I was immediately like, video game. I know that you're about to video game. Do not let Taka die. So he's like, Jin's like, nah, man, take your ass, get her out of here, bro. And then Taka's like, no, I'm not taking no for an answer. It's like, yo, bruh, I got this shit. Like, I don't understand why we don't have choices in main games. Like, I could have easily been like, nah, I got this. Like, or have it to where I can ask Taka for help, but it puts him at a high risk of danger, but makes the mission way easy. Or I can not ask Taka for help, the mission's way harder, but he stays safe. Now I have two different endings. Is that easy? And it's not even that hard to make it to where Taka could be alive in the end cutscene or not. Like, it's really not that. It's really that easy to have a branching choice, a branching story where my story feels more defined and personalized to myself. However, Taka's like, nah, bro, I'm helping you. Get the fuck out of here. And he runs and he tells the Mongols, he's like, yeah, y'all fat hoes, y'all are garbage, like, trash, fuck them. And then the Mongols like, what? where you at? Where you from? And they run out the front gate like, and then, but I wasn't playing no games with this shit. So as soon as all the mongoose ran out the front gate, I killed them all. And this is why I said just let me do it myself. I killed all of them. Like, no, it didn't. I know it was supposed to help with the distraction, and I kind of limited what Taka was meant to do there. But I mean, he still ran off and thought he distracted him. He distracted him enough for me to kill their ass. So I killed all the mongoose, like slaughtered them all, and. And in the clips, I know you can see how fucking easy these ghost weapons are. I just popped the fucking smoke bomb. Stealth kill, stealth kill, stealth kill. But, so we get to Ryuzo in the fort, and Ryuzo's like, we cross blades again, Jin. Whatever the fuck he says. We cross blades again. Our paths. We cross once more.
It's good to see you. You know why I've come.
Yes. I made sure you'd know where to find me. The Khan wants to meet you.
I'm not here to talk. You betrayed us all.
We can save our home together. It doesn't have to be like this.
Yes, Ryuzo. It does.
Then we get hit in the back by some weird ass Mighty Sword ass nigga. Like, he just hit us in the back of the head with the hilt. And it did Shimura. And I'm just like, yo. Why? So yeah, all this shit just sounded like a trap to me. Just screaming Taka's death. And after we get knocked out by Ryuzo, we wake up to see that we're tied to a post, right? And Taka's there. Guess what? Not only did we get captured, and he ran off and successfully distracted them, but he brought his ass back. Why? Why? So the Khan, Kotal Khan, comes in and he's like, yo, surrender. If you surrender, you know, the people will go peacefully, or whatever the fuck he says. And then you're like, man, fuck all that. I ain't saying shit. Spit in his face, whatever you do. And Taka, he cuts Taka free. And he tells Taka to kill Jin. Or, yeah, with Jin's sword. So, again, there's a couple ways they could have did this, which makes me a little mad. But instead of Taka killing Jin, he like, oh, we're struggling. So wait, before all that, we're struggling actually to get out. This is important for a little later. I'm sorry, it's out of order a little bit, but this is important. We're struggling to get out, and we don't get out, right? So he frees Taka. Taka's about to kill us, or we think Taka's about to kill us. I never thought that. We thought Taka's about to kill us, and he swung that hammer at the Khan, right? So the Khan, like, Matrix dodges it, kills Taka, cuts his head off. And then Jin's like, no. And I'm just like, bruh, motherfucker. If they would have just had Taka quickly, like, step around, get to the rope, cut Jin loose, hand Jin the sword, boom, we winning. Why he didn't step? He swung it at the Khan. I'm like, damn, like, you stuck it though, fuck it. So now the stupid part comes. Well, that's all the whole part, the whole scene is stupid. Jin asking for help, Taka showing up, he telling him no, me not letting me do it by myself, me getting hit in the back of the head, all that shit. And if you see Jin's reaction time, like, he has a reaction time where Masako turns around, it's like behind him, she sneaks up on him, and he pulls out she pulls out a bow and arrow, and he turns around real fast as fuck, pulls out his sword, like, what the fuck, like, what are you doing? It's me.
Dead for days. Lady Masako, it's me.
And then So in this part, I don't see how he gets hit in the back of the head. I don't. It's like Madara. Like Madara fought all the tail beasts with his eyes fucking closed, and then he just gets stabbed in the back. How do you fight the strongest creatures in the land of Kona, and you get your ass with no eyes, and you get your ass stabbed in the back? That Madara shit is a whole different story. Because Madara is like my favorite character, but besides the point. So right after all of that, guess what happens? You just fucking Hulk mode it and break out the ropes. So after Hulk moding these damn ropes, you break out or whatever, and you walk forward, and your stuff is just in a chest in front of you. Like the Khan didn't keep it inside of the fort, or you're not even there anymore. Like he just left you there. Like his greatest enemy that he fears the most, he just left you there. Like sometimes the plot can get real stupid in video games, and again, these things can just be fixed with a simple Taka tried to cut us out, didn't work out. Taka could still have died, but he could have took like Taka hostage or something like that, and then the Khan flees because he sees we broke out, right? But no, he's there, and Jin's upset. He's like, yeah, kill them all. So we go and we cut up every Mongol all the way to the front gate. Yuna comes to the front gate, and yeah, we meet Yuna. It's kind of a sad day. It was raining and shit. Sad day, sad day.
Yuna.
I just saw the Khan ride out with Ryuzo. Where's Taka? I know he's here. He left a message saying he'd followed you. Where is he? Oh.
So, yeah, in my opinion, all Jin's fault. If you didn't ask for fucking help, nobody would have came, and you would have fought all these Mongols by yourself, Hulk moded it out, broke out by yourself, and you would have been fine. So, yeah. Yuna walks up to Taka's body, he's crying again. More sad shit. More Mongols come, they end up showing up again, and we end up fighting them. And it was actually, this mission was actually a good mission, emotionally, and in terms of the story. It made me want to progress the story a little bit more. I was just a little mad about how it all turned out. But Taka dying was like, because he made us the grapple hook. You know, the grapple hook was that was some hot shit, bro. Like, yeah, he helped to scale the wall. He tried to fight. I like Taka's character. It was actually a shame he didn't have any side quests. They didn't give Taka side quests. So it would work. That would have hit even harder if they would have given him side quests to do, and if you didn't do the side quests right now. But we're taken to his funeral, and if you pay respects at his funeral, these green butterflies come out the grave, and like they follow you around for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But it was actually cool. A lot of these things, there's a couple details about paying respects to the dead. If you bow at some points, Jenna say a line like, I hope you find peace, or later on in the story we lose another companion, and bowing there puts like a glow around you. So it's time to raid Castle Shimura, because it's Shimura's castle. I guess we can come up with a name for it. It's Castle Shimura. And Shimura actually has some pretty big news for you.
The Shogun formally supports my decision to adopt you. When our island is saved, you will be heir to Clan Shimura. Not as a ghost, but as a samurai.
But when the battle commences, it's a big siege style battle with all of the people that helped you free Shimura, including Norio this time. I guess he replaces Ryuzo. And it was actually a really good mission. I actually like this mission a lot. This mission was it was okay. The story elements of the mission was a little bothersome, but the mission itself was really good, really well designed. You finally get that. They needed more missions like these where you just fuck shit up. But we get to a part where Jin has to go and open the main gate, and he drops down and does his little samurai takedown thing to fuck the main gate shit up. And then Lord Shimura sees, and he's like, I disapprove. With Honor, Jin.
Run, cowards! Jin! What are you doing?
Clearing the way.
Not like that. Never like that. Face them as a warrior with honor, not a monster.
It's all they understand.
This one was, it was kind of bad. It was a little, the only thing bad about it was the poison guy. He was poisoned. Us cutting off that guy's head, it wasn't that bad. Like, are you serious? They hung our people from trees, but you know, turn the other cheek, be the bigger man. I understand. So we fight, make our way towards the bridge separating like the castle from the inner castle, like city. It's a big ass castle. So we go into the bridge part, and Lord Shimura sends our men in, and they all blow up. Jin is like, yo, let me go first, or let me see like their defenses or whatever, and Shimura's like, no, fuck that. And then Shimura sends his men in, they all blow up, and then Jin is like, nigga, I told you, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Let me handle this. And then they're like, let's go talk privately, one-on-one. And then we get the pause put on us.
Trained you to fight with honor. Honor died on the beach. The Khan deserves to suffer.
You are ruled by your emotion.
I sacrificed everything I knew to save our people. I gave them hope. You did nothing!
No. We're finished.
Again, just the story parts are fucking with me this mission. So Jin the whole time said it's just necessary. Why did he say the same thing he's been telling himself this whole time? It's just for right now. Like, when the Mongols leave, I'll go right back to fighting with honor. Just right now, we need every tool to survive. Survival is more important right now, right? So we need every tool to survive. But yet he gives them that the Khan deserves to suffer. And I was like, yo, when he said it, I was like, Jin, you don't sound like yourself. Like, Jin's not really an emotional guy. He separates his emotion from what needs to be done. So the uncle was right. He's like, you are ruled by your emotion. And he was. And then again, he made another emotional decision. I did everything. You did nothing. Nothing. Wow. And he's like, I don't know how he didn't break his whole fucking hand, back of his hand, because of that hard ass armor I got on. But who cares? I digress. So he didn't Jindal finished. Fuck you. So we meet up with Yuna to discuss a plan about sneaking in, because now we're taking a break and we're rebuilding the bridge so we can cross because they blew it up. So we talk to Yuna. Yuna's like, Jin's like, I got a plan, we're gonna sneak in. Yuna's like, Taka was making you a set of armor, the ghost armor, which is actually another dope piece. It has a nice ass fucking cave if you upgrade it. But yeah, she's like, Taka was making you a new pair, another armor set. And we sneak over there undetected. We poison the Mongols. This is our mission, to poison the Mongols. So we poison them and we don't get caught, and then we go into the castle. They all drink, like, because they're feasting. And when we jump over there, we find out that they were gonna walk into another trap. So I mean, I guess it was worth it, because they would have walked. They were setting up explosives so they could walk into another trap. See, that's another thing with Shimura. You gotta understand, if they're about to set your ass up, blow you up with traps and all, and you want to fight with honor, like later on in the mission, Khan is talking to Ryuzo, not in this mission, but later on, or earlier in the story, I should say. The Khan is talking to Ryuzo, and the Khan's like, the regular samurai aren't much of a threat because they fight with honor. They're predictable. We know they're gonna walk forward. They're gonna wait for me to pull my sword. That we know, we've seen the story before. He's like, that Jin guy, he's a threat. He's unpredictable. I don't like that. So we're about to walk straight forward into the jaws of the beast, belly of the beast. And we're gonna get blown the fuck up with honor. I mean, we didn't have to lose those men. I understand where Jin was coming from. If he would have just explained himself well in that cutscene, it would have went way better. But we get to the feast that the Mongols are gonna have, and we poison, like, they're having some weird ass demonic ritual. To partaking in some weird ass ritual, some act of demon, and we poison it. We fuck the shit up. None of that, no worshiping over here. So we poison the little milk or whatever, the blood that they're gonna drink from their chalice, and they're all on the fucking floor crying, throwing up blood, and it's actually pretty brutal. I don't know. I don't really think people should die that way, even if they are your mortal enemies. But then at the same time, you got the Mongols burning people and hanging people and beheading people. So is it really that worse? So we go up to the main keep and we meet Ryuzo. Because again, the Khan's nowhere to be fucking found. So we meet Ryuzo, bitch ass.
He rode north. Made me stay behind to collect the ghost's head.
Then come claim it.
No.
And you know what this motherfucker does? This motherfucker has the audacity to beg or ask for his life. Say, yo, put a good word in with Shimura for me. We could beat the Khan together. Bitch, you had that chance when we was at the fucking castle together. You didn't want to fight with me at the castle, folk boy. Why the fuck you want me to help you now? Stupid. It's too late. I already poisoned these niggas. I can't help you.
After everything you've done!
Tell the people I was just by. Sent to gain the Khan's trust. They'll believe the ghost.
Stop!
Like, bruh, where was all of this before? He had the choice though. It's not like the Khan kept him in chains. He could have left that fort that he was at. He could have left and came to us. He rode off with the Khan. Just drift your horse Red Dead style, make a left, come to the fort where we at. Tell us where the Khan is. It could have been that simple. Why did you wait until I slaughtered? It just looks bad for him. Like, you wait until I kill all the Mongols, all the enemy, and then you try to get in my good graces. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, stay in the good graces, you start in the good graces, you stay in them, and you will be rewarded. You could have fucking helped me take the castle. Why didn't you? Like, why are you trying to? That shit was garbage, bro. Like, Ryuzo is real trash. I'm sorry, but I was happy that we got to kill this guy. Like, I was really happy.
Jin, please.
Goodbye, Ryuzo.
So, after the job well done, Yuna's there, and we meet up with Yuna, and then Shimura comes, and when Shimura comes, it's all downhill from here. Like, the story takes a big turn.
Khan marches north. We can head him off.
You defied me.
I did what I had to. For them.
Is this how you want to be remembered?
So then things get a little bit more juicy, and Shimura's like, yo, I know Yuna drove you to this. Let's just blame this all on her. Which is not very honorable. Like, I didn't even notice this break of character from Shimura. And he said, we'll blame it all on her. Tell the troops that you're my son, and you renounce the ghost. And then Jin, he could have did a little bit better with his explaining. He was just like, I'm not your son. I am Ghost. You could have just been like, no, I'm not blaming it on her. You can't do it. You could have, like, used a little bit more words. I don't think there was no getting out of this situation, but still, he could have been like, yo, I would love to be your son, but I did what I did, and I'm not mad about what I did. I don't regret it. I have no regrets. That's all you have to say. I have no regrets. Then we could have went. You tell the nigga, I am not your son. I am Ghost.
I know. She drove you to this. Uncle. Renounce the ghost. You must blame her for this outrage. Tell them. You are Jin Shimura. Loyal servant to the Shogun. My heir. My son. I am not your son. I am the ghost.
So after this, Shimura throws a little fit of rage, and we are branded a traitor to the Shogun at that. Not a traitor to our way of life, but a traitor to our people. Like we're no different than the Mongols at this point. So it doesn't make sense. That shit is stupid. Not that it doesn't make sense, like the writers, but I'm sure this type of shit really happened. Like if people went against the code, they weren't branded a traitor against the code. They were branded a traitor against the people. So it wouldn't matter the reason why you broke code. You would just be branded a traitor to the people. You just be branded a fucking traitor in general. So we're locked up, prisoner Akon style. They ain't gonna let us out. And Kenshi shows up. So when Kenji shows up, he just does his little sake swindling. He tells the guy, yo, it's sake outside, go drink it before your friends drink it. And he's like, haven't had anything but water. Alright, fuck it, I'll go. And then, yeah, we meet Kenji.
Kenji, what are you doing?
What does it look like? Let's go!
If I run, I won't be able to unite our people against the Khan. I'll never regain my uncle's trust.
If you stay, he'll ship you to the Shogun for judgment. The orders just came through.
So we sneak out the cell, go to where the horses are, and they're looking for us. The word gets out that we broke out, obviously. Just went for a drink, and they start looking for us, searching around. And obviously we don't kill none of the Japanese people. That would have been way overboard, and I wouldn't have did that anyway if they let me. So we get to our horse, and they actually shoot our horse. And they shoot us, but they shoot our horse. And our horse ends up dying later on the way. Like we're like halfway there. Like it took us a long way, and our horse actually dies. And it was actually pretty sad. And our horse gets its own little memorial marker on the map. Not a marker on the map, but like an area, a location. This is like burial of an old friend. And after all of this, now that we're a traitor, an enemy of the state, FBI's most wanted, our horse is gone, our lordship is gone, our friends and weapons are missing, our armor's gone. It is now the end of Act 3. Alright, well, the end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3. And the last act of the game. My thoughts on Act 2. Act 2 was like, there was nothing story related until the end. The end really made it pick up in story, which was good. The side quest carried the story in Act 2, which was actually, it wasn't that bad. Like the side quest stories, they advanced quite a bit, and you also wrapped them up Act 3. Y'all got like a couple quick wrap up missions, and honestly, it helped the game. Act 1 was like more of a rush. Act 2 is like more of a slow, methodical, go explore, get the people, go, get the fundamentals. It was well paced. The first act was kind of rushed a little bit, and then the third act we just wrap it all up perfectly, and not perfectly, but we wrap it all up well, and they did a good job with the game. I can't complain, honestly. So Act 3 starts, and we're trying to meet Yuna at Omi Village. It's like a big ass tree we're supposed to meet her at, and we get to the tree, and the Japanese people there are already dead and don't have any stab wounds. So we deduce, our Sherlock Holmes, we deduce that the Mongols are actually using our own poison against us. And we learned this firsthand, the hard way. So after a couple seconds, 30 seconds of running away and trying to flee from the Mongols, we pass out on the floor and collapse, and the screen goes white, and you hear Yuna come, and I don't know where the fuck Yuna was at in the first place, but I guess she was just there, and Yuna's there, and she saves us and takes us back to some rundown ass house.
I thought I wouldn't. The Mongols used my own poison on me.
How did they get it?
I don't know. But they learned how to make it themselves.
They must have tested it on the people of Qin. Before they burned the town, I saw families lying in pools of blood.
So we find out that the Mongols are camped out at some whatever the fuck. It's like a praying ground. It's like a temple. And we go over there and scope it out at a lighthouse. And after scoping it out, we let the Mongols run across this frozen lake. We kill them with the arrows. We ambush them, blow them up. I don't know why there were explosives on a frozen lake, but who cares? After that, we get the fort and we can explore the area around Act 3, the final part of the island. And it's the snow. It's the snow area. It's pretty. It's okay. Like it's not really, since it's snow. Everything, all the trees and stuff are white. You don't get the colorful, super palette that you do. It still has some breathtaking views, like on top of the mountains. Like you climb this icy mountain, and if you climb it too slowly, this is a side quest for the Way of the Flame that I was talking about earlier. If you climb it too slowly, you'll freeze to death and burn up. You'll freeze to death and you'll die. And there's also another side quest mission of a guy who tells you that the Mongols, he was making a Mongol armor for the Khan, and now we have the option to go and get this armor if we liberate these camps and steal the pieces of the armor from the Khans and get a couple of pieces from the farmers that in safekeeping it. Main story wise, we have to reunite with our allies. So Yuna tells us that she knows some they're hunters apparently, and I guess there were a group of hunters she used to roll with, and I'm pretty sure she was involved, in relations with one of the head hunter, because when we get to the hunter guy, he's like, "Oh, Yuna's alive? Oh, what? Oh shit, where's she at? Let me see this." We get real excited.
She's alive? Where is she?
The Mongols blocked the pass to Omi. I have to open the way, and I can't do it alone. Yuna told me you can help.
Sounds dangerous.
I thought you were an expert hunter, leader of the best archers in the prefecture.
Is that what Yuna told you?
And as you can see in that cutscene, I had the Mongol armor on, and that little special ability is the Mongols it's harder for them to detect you. But we scope out this another fort basically, and we plan our means of attack. And the hunter, Jin, tells the hunter that, I can get you in good with the castle. Your people don't have to starve or whatever. And during the mission, Jin tells him, or he asks Jin "Yo, so how are we gonna get this shit?" And he's like, "Oh wait, you're the ghost. Aren't you outlawed by the Khan or the Shogun? So you don't even have access to this fort." But during the mission, we find out that the Mongols are storing barrels of our poison in the lighthouse.
What's in all these barrels? Supplies?
Flowers. Poison. One barrel holds enough to kill hundreds. Khan.
So like I said, there's even less to do in terms of story in Act 3. All you do is reunite with your allies, find out where the Khan is, scope his place out, and go and kill him. That's it. Again, it's carried by the wrapping up of the side quest and just unlocking that last part of the island. So the next part that you do in terms of the main story, I did all the side quests first. In terms of the main story is Jin says he has to contact his uncle for reinforcements, and Yuna tells him it's not a bad idea, but we go in there anyway, and we deliver a letter and tell him where the Khan is. This is after we find out what the Khan is located. Basically, we just go down to the port, look at where the Khan's fleet is, and see that there's a storm coming. So you decide to attack him during this blizzard, and we give the letter to Shimura.
Jogaku Temple. We believe the Ghost is responsible for both. What do you wish to do?
We will deal with the Ghost once we defeat the Mongols.
The Shogun's orders were clear.
I am aware of his orders. Our first priority remains the Mongols and their leader. He's here! Guards!
Uncle, forgive me for not facing you in person. The Khan's fleet has gathered at Port Izumi. His ships are loaded with poison that will devastate the Shogun's army. But when the next storm arrives, I plan to kill the Khan and sink his fleet.
Mission was cool because you get to see Shimura and his thoughts on how Jin is at the moment. He really wasn't fucking with anything. And people were saying Sakai's like, that what you saw the last part of it, but you go up like 3 floors of the castle, and Shimura is on each floor. He climbs up, and you're basically following him, and like unintentionally you're following him. And he's like, man, don't say that nigga name around me. Fuck him. He ain't with the hood. He left the hood, CJ. So, in the last mission, it's like another siege style mission, but it's really good. I think the best one though was when you get the ghost dance of the people of Yarikawa. So, we get to the last mission where we're not sure if Uncle is gonna come and help us, and we ambush the Mongols at a farm. So we trap them, kill like their first wave of Mongol at a farm, push up to the fort, and Jin goes in there. So you can do this mission either stealth or you can do it guns blazing. I did it stealth, or no, I did it guns blazing because I mean it's the last mission. What the fuck we going in there? But they know we coming, so fuck it. So and everybody's there too. So Ishikawa's there, Yuna's there, Norio's there, Misako's there. Everyone shows up. Even Kenji helped. Kenji actually helped with the last fort raid. But we get all the way up to we get to where the Khan is, and oh no, we don't get to the Khan yet. So we climb up the thing, and then we climb up this like tower to scout the land, and we see Shimura and where he comes from, and then not where he comes from, but we see Shimura and him come in with all his men, and it was pretty epic to see Uncle.
For Tsushima! No mercy!
So after a little bit more fighting, we go to where the Khan is. We finally meet the Khan. We're standing face to face with him, and he has a little thing of poison in his hand. He's all, he would just surrender. And like that's his shit. Like how the guy in Far Cry was, the definition of insanity. His shit is surrender.
All this death. Because you and your uncle would not surrender.
So we have a final little face-off with the Khan, and we're staring him down, he's staring us down, and then we have our duel. And the Khan, the first part of the Khan was really interesting. It was good. It was a nice little fight. He had the spear, but he didn't fight like a spear user. So you had to, it was like a couple new attacks you had to learn, right? It wasn't stale like before. I mean, he had the same little charge abilities as the others, but it was still a nice, clean fight. And you fuck him up here, and when you fuck him up here, he throws poison in your face. And after him throwing poison in your face, you just heal. Honestly, I thought it would play a little bit more of a factor because it was a cutscene. But you just heal. He flees to the ship. you take out his average goons and you chase him down to the ship. Now, chasing him down to the ship, the Khan actually starts bringing out all his men. So when he started doing that, I start cheating too. Like, yeah, fuck all that. I'm about to use my ghost weapons. So, cause you can use the ghost weapons at this part, and he doesn't even have a health bar anymore. He's just a regular enemy. So he still has the same moves as when he had that spear, but then he gets fucked up a little, and guess what? He turns into a basic ass sword and shield Mongol, and it's just a normal fight after that. But as you can see, I pull out the bow, I pulled out everything, fire arrows. I'm like, man, fuck it, you gonna call all these goons on me? Man, fuck that shit, I'm gonna fuck you up. So yeah, he turns into a regular sword and shield guy. And the fight becomes like super easy at that point. When you fuck him up, he says, "Oh, kill me," and you do the triangle. You break his guard, break his shield, and then you stab him and you kill the Khan. And that's it for the, your main objective of Act 3.
Will be remembered forever. No, you will be forgotten.
So the last boss fight was okay. Different stages. Had 3 different stages in total. If you count the switch from sword and shield to, or from spear and shield to sword and shield. The environment was cool. It was a little different environment. We already had a duel on a boat before, but it's okay. And the difficulty on it was okay. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't hard at all. I didn't die on that one. I died on a lot of other duels though, which is crazy. But that duel, I had my shit together, I guess. So we lost ashore on some beach again, and Yuna finds us, and she tells us that our uncle was like, he gave her a letter, or no, a note, and say meet him by some tree or some shit. And we go to the tree, and this is like the final wrap up of the whole story. We get to a tree in our village, only village. It's the same tree that in the beginning when you were training with Shimura at. And we sit there and we wait. He's not there yet. We sit and we wait, and then he shows. He rears his ugly head.
New samurai are coming to replace those we lost. They will occupy your land and estate.
I have to say goodbye to my home.
Ride with me.
So he confirms that you're like super traitor in terms of the Shogun, that your clan is going to be disbanded, and a new samurai clan will take its place. So your house and estate have been taken, and yeah, you're basically nothing now. You're basically nothing more than a bum on these streets, homeless bum on the streets, former prince or Lord Sakai, wherever the fuck you were. I don't know the little judicial, the standings, the political standings in Japan, but I mean, I thought that shit was bogus. How do I kill the Khan? I stop whole Mongol fleets. I raid whole forts and shit. I've saved so many people. Liberated Yaikawa. All this shit. Brought the island together, and I'm still able to trade her because I did it with no honor. So then Shimura bears the real bad news to you that you're not only an outlaw, but the Shogun wants you dead.
The Shogun has declared you a traitor.
He ordered you to kill me.
The ghost was an outlaw. He taught our people to defy their leaders,
To defend themselves.
with poison. A gift you gave to our enemy.
I had to stop you from throwing away our people's lives.
You have no honor.
And you are a slave to it.
I feel like Jin was right in this last part, this last cutscene right here, because Shimura was kind of acting like a slave to his honor. He couldn't bend or fold. And actually, if you talk to the lady that was taking care of Jin, the old lady with the dementia that I was talking about, she tells you that Yuriko, she tells you that Shimura and your dad actually fought a lot because your dad wanted to be progressive and Shimura was always stubborn. Anyways, he gives you you write one final last samurai note. You write the last words of Clan Shimura, or Clan Sakai, and he writes the last words of Clan Shimura, and you both do it in haiku form. After writing the haiku, you're hit with another flashback cutscene, but this one is the one right before the final fight.
I will train you to become the strongest warrior Clan Sakai has ever known. I will raise you as my own son. Are you ready?
I am ready.
So we size each other up, and then the battle ensues. You find out that Shimura is still a slave to his fucking honor. He says, "I will not let the Shogun down." Like, really?
Fear the Shogun.
Now, this shit was hard as hell because I died like 15-20 times during this final fight. But afterwards, you kill Shimura, or not kill him, but you beat Shimura. You do like one last little wind slash at him, and he drops to his knees, and you're given a choice to either kill Shimura or spare him and let him live.
Honor me with a warrior's death.
I'm pretty sure the game is trying to tell you that the moral of the story is do whatever you have to do to survive for the greater good. It doesn't matter what it is, because the honor option in this is actually like the honor his wish for death. It's actually stupid. That's the honorable thing to do. Honor his wish. It's actually dumb. If we kill Lord Shimura, the island will be at such a disadvantage. We're killing the best general that we've ever had. Why the fuck would you do that? 2, he's your family. Like, what the fuck? He's just a slave to his honor. It's okay. I'm not about to kill his ass. Like, so obviously, I chose to let him live. And afterwards, he's like, "You will be on for the rest of your days."
But I will not kill my family.
The ghost will be hunted for the rest of his days.
I know.
And that's it. That's the main story complete. You put on the mask, you wear the ghost mask, you say fuck you to Shimura, you show your ass, you walk up the stairs, the heaven gates, and they await us, boys. We made it. We did it. Game complete. Final fight, amazing. In terms of atmosphere, in terms of difficulty, it was really good. In terms of emotion, that we actually cared about this fight, it was really good. Afterwards, we land up on some old rundown abandoned house, and you can look at all of your old artifacts that you have. You can look at all the old, not artifacts, but all the collectibles you used throughout the game. But these are main story things, so not things that you collected throughout the game, but the things that you had to use throughout the game. So like the grappling hook, and there's poison in there, and then there's like vases and stuff, and he's just reflecting on all the things that he had. I believe Ryuzo's hat's in there. You can just look at them and then get Jin's opinion on all of them if you choose to walk in there. You walk outside, Yuna is there, and Yuna's like, well, we only got a couple more Mongols to kill, and that's it. The story's wrapped up. Get your achievement. And yeah, the story was about going back through it, it wasn't that bad. The story was like a 7, probably even an 8 out of 10. It wasn't a bad story. It was pretty good. Like, I don't know if it was super great, but it was decent. It was decent enough. It was good enough. It wasn't anything bad about it. It wasn't anything extraordinarily good about it either, though. So yeah, story about an 8, gameplay about a 9. This game's doing pretty good. Atmosphere and looks is about a 9, maybe even a 10. So this game's doing pretty fucking good for itself. The side stories is the last thing I gotta get into.
And they can't stand me cause I'm misunderstood. And I need a bad bitch just to give a good. And girl, I like to eat, I hope you like to cook.
So let's start off with Yuna, Taka, and Kenji, since their side stories are kind of linked together. So Yuna and Kenji get like 3 side stories, 3 missions to themselves, and they don't have any progression other than those 3 missions. Taka gets none. The first time you meet Yuna, she wants to just get off the island. Like I said before, she didn't even care about saving you. She was just looting the dead bodies on the beach, and she thought you could help her get off the island. Her and Taka are both from Yarikawa, and Yarikawa had a rebellion against Shimura. That was the guy that in that cutscene where Shimura got stabbed. That was a Yarikawa rebellion, whatever the fuck. Yeah, he tried to stab Shimura, and that caused, not that specific situation, but Shimura killed that clan family. And shortly after, or before, they don't really specify, the Yarikawa rebellion, Yuna sells, or she meets like a slaver, and she accidentally, I don't know how she does this, she accidentally sells her brother and herself into slavery. So that's what revolves around her main story, or side story. So after freeing Taka and taking them back to Komatsu Forge, or the village, you liberate the village, and she creates the legend of the ghost, and that's basically where the name the ghost comes from, and it's the reason why everybody's hating on us, because of our new nickname, basically.
I've never seen a samurai fight like that.
It was nothing.
You are more than a samurai. He is a vengeful spirit, back from the grave to slaughter the Mongols.
Where do we hide now?
I like this cutscene because you see all of their personalities in one. So Yuna is making shit up. Taka is scared as fuck. He's like, where the fuck do I hide? And then later on, Jin's like, we fire up the forge, make weapons to save Lord Shimura. Gives his heads up Shimura's ass. So all their personalities are all finely tuned in one cutscene. I like that. So during all this, as we're liberating Komatsu, Kenji is selling. This is after you liberate Azamo Bay too, the side mission at least. Kenji is selling some jank ass bullshit to the Mongols, and he gets the people in trouble, and the Mongols start taking slaves captured because of Kenji. And Kenji comes to us, and he's like, yeah, the Mongols are capturing people, and it's real fucked up, you gotta go save them. And we get there, and then we save him, and then Kenji comes around, and the guy's like, bitch, it's your fault, the fuck you doing here, get the fuck out of here. And Jin's like, yo, Kenji, what the fuck, like, you gotta start getting people in trouble. And that's Kenji's theme throughout the whole story, or his side story, is he's having Jin fix all of his issues that he caused. So skipping over to Act 2, because there's no more missions for nobody. It was only one Kenji mission in Act 1. So Yuna's missions actually start Act 2. You meet Yuna on the side of the road next to like this dead horse, and she tells us that her friends at an inn. The inn has been overrun by Mongols, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm like, you talking about that inn down the road? Because the inn in my game, I went to the inn right before I went to this mission, and it was actually pretty peaceful. There was no Mongols. So what the fuck are you talking about, Yuna?
I was trying to fix my wagon with pieces from a bamboo stand when I was told a samurai had built
food, medicine, slaughtering families. If anyone fights back or tries to run,
they get butchered like animals.
An old friend of mine runs the inn down the road. Help! There's trouble!
Get ready!
I thought that shit was funny because that guy tried to snitch on me and then get on. So nah, we ain't playing those games, buddy. And I teabagged his ass. But yeah, we meet Ichi, and you can see that Ichi does not have kind words for Yuna. Like, I don't know what their beef is. Well, I know now, but at the time I didn't know what their beef was. But I was like, damn, what the fuck you do?
Why are you here? We came to save you. You've killed me, Yuna. I was keeping the invaders drunk and distracted. But when Altan hears about this, about what you've done, you were working with the Mongols to survive. You should have fought back. And you should have run away, like you always do.
So she's terrified of this Altan character. And later on, or not later on, but literally right after, Jin walks up and is like, man, she risked her life to save you, fuck wrong with you. And then Yuna's like, nah, that bitch, stay away from that bitch. Only death and despair follows her. Ooh, spooky. So at least she gave us our objective to find the Momoshi brothers, kill them, and now to draw Altan, the main Mongol guy, out of hiding. Next time we meet Yuna, she's outside of the slave camp, and that's when she tells us that about her being enslaved, her and Taka as children. And it's actually some real strong pervy messages with two of the slavers. You meet one of them later, the Black Wolf, and then the other one, she mentions his filthy hands, and it's like, it's weird.
They're running a slave camp.
You've been inside.
Taka and I are the only ones who ever escaped.
When were you imprisoned here?
A lifetime ago. Taka and I were still children.
Do you remember what happened?
Every moment. Kichizo's beatings. The stink of Manzo's breath. And Taizo's filthy little hands.
If we kill them, we'll send a message to their master.
So we get to the gates, and Yuna is actually she has PTSD, so she can't go back inside. So Jin's like, fuck it, I'll go in there, and just for you, I'll cut their heads off. These is the only people you do this gruesome shit to, other than the Mongol captains when you stealth kill them. But that's for a reason. This one is like, they hurt my Yuna. No, they didn't hurt my Yuna. They hurt my Yuna. I'm gonna have to cut their fucking heads off. That's Jin. And he cuts their heads off and puts them all on pikes outside the fortress like a real badass. And then the Mongols come out and they're just like, what the fuck? So then we make our way to the Black Wolf. And that's the last guy before we get to Altan. And the Black Wolf is the children enslaver, the one that Yuna accidentally ran. I don't know how the fuck this happened, but Yuna accidentally sold herself and Taka into slavery via the Black Wolf. We cut up all his little rinky-dink ass guards, make our way to the boat, get to the boat, fuck shit up on a boat. He comes out, he's like, please don't kill me, whatever you think I've done, the Mongols made me do it. He's fucking lying, because Yuna's like, yo, I was a slave as a children. And then he's like, what? Taka was my favorite, which is some weird shit. And then he's like, but as I recall, you brought him to me. And I was like, oh.
Whatever you think I've done, Altan forced me. You enslaved children.
You've done it for 20 years. You held me and Taka captive. Sold us to the Mamushi slave farm.
Taka. He was my favorite. But the way I remember it, you brought him to me.
I didn't know.
So Yuna stabs him in his gut, rightfully so. We get off the boat, burn the boat. Well, we burn the boat, get off the boat. Then Yuna tells us exactly what happened.
He offered me food and a place to stay. I asked if I could bring my brother.
So we go back to Ichi's place, because Altan gave her the message for us, which is stupid. And Yuna says, we'll make them pay for this, I promise. And she's like, your promises are just like you, worthless. And I'm just like, yo, why is this bitch, we're killing this guy, why are you so mad? And actually Yuna tells us why she's so mad. So you know how Yuna said they escaped together, or her and Taka were the only ones to escape? Well, Ichi formed that plot to escape, and they were all escaping together, but Ichi either fell or she got shot in the knee by an arrow like Skyrim, and they left her behind and kept running. Taka was younger, so obviously he would kept running, but I guess Yuna feels bad that she didn't turn around and help her, and she just kept running. But I don't know what I would have done in that situation. If we're children, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I can't fight those people.
Was a slave at the Mamushi farm. It's where we met. She looked out for me and Taka, shielded us from the worst. She's the reason we escaped.
She chose to do that. You don't owe her anything.
We were all running. The next, Ichi was screaming, and I kept running. I abandoned her, Jin.
So that's the story of why she hates Yuna so much, and I apologize for the shaky, like sketchy gameplay. I was recording my gameplay all wrong, but it's okay. I'm new to all this. We get to the place where Altan is, and lo and behold, he's a sword and shield Mongol. He's the guy I was talking about earlier. He's supposed to be like a boss, but he's just a regular ass sword and shield guy. And it really, again, I can't stress enough how boring that is. They could at least make this guy with no helmet, but you kill Altan, and Ichi shows up probably to save you the walk back to her. And she shows up, and she's still not fucking with Yuna. Fuck all that. And she's like, she tells us the people are actually scared of Jin for what he did to the slavers, which was like, huh?
People know what you did to the others. Now they're afraid the ghost will come for them next.
That shit just baffled me. I'm like, hold it right there, bitch. If they know we killed them, they must know why we killed them and what they were doing. So why the fuck why are you scared that we're not just killing random people? And besides, the bandits you fight throughout the game, they're Japanese too. Why the fuck didn't they say this earlier instead of when I'm killing slavers, children, slavers? Fuck them.
Bother you.
I don't want our own people afraid of me.
You can't expect everyone to understand what you're doing, or why.
No. But I wonder...
So back to something a little more lighthearted. Kinji. I apologize, guys. I only have one. I guess I did both Kinji side missions on one video, and that video got corrupted. So I only have the last mission for Kinji, but the second mission for him, you go to this camp, and he's like, "They've taken somebody captive, my lord." And you're like, well, what the fuck? Why? What happened? And he's like, hurry, just go, you gotta save him. And you go in, you save this one guy who's captured, and he's like, Kenshi sent me. And he was like, Kenshi sent you? He was like, he's the reason why I'm in this fucking mess, this heap of bull. And Kenji comes around, and he's like, yo, what's up, bro? He's like, I told you I'll save you. He was like, you dumbass. I guess they sold the Mongols some shit, and they wanted to take it back. Kenji is like a swindler of all swindlers, the true swiper. He sold the Mongols some shit. The Mongols left camp, told the guy to go and steal the shit back, and the Mongols came back and they kept him. They captured his ass, and more Mongols come. They lock themselves in cages, and they wait until Jin finishes them all off. And then we meet Kenji again in Umugi Cove, and then now you can kind of get a glimpse of how all of these missions start off. But in this one, he's actually sympathetic of what he did. So he's like, oh, I'm sorry, my lord, I'm a fool. But I'm gonna let this whole like cutscene play out so you could get a grasp of like Kenji's character just a little bit.
What are you doing here?
Lord Sakai! My prayers have been answered.
That remains to be seen. What's wrong, Kenji?
I owe money to a bandit, Gon the Butcher.
Then you should pay him.
I will. But he wants to meet me in the middle of nowhere so he can cut my throat.
What did you do to deserve that?
He paid for delivery of sake and medicine, and I might have skimmed some to help survivors fleeing Izuhara, and didn't think he'd notice.
There are better ways to help people, Kenji.
My lord, I'm an idiot.
And you want me to clean up your mess.
Couldn't you just watch from the shadows in case Gon tries anything? If you scare him off, he'll just put a price on my head.
Your intentions this time were better than usual. I will help.
Thank you, my lord.
So we travel to the meetup location, and Kenji tells us, and we're talking to Kenji, he's basically like, you know, I'm sorry, and Jin's like, did you bring the money this time? He's like, yes, I brought the money. He actually sounds remorseful and sorry. And we finally get to the place, and we see that it's covered with bandits all around for just one little Kenji. So it was kind of weird. And Kenji's like, before we get there, Kenji's like, yo, if I scream out, I am so happy to see you, that means something went wrong. Go in there and kill his ass. I thought Kenji was gonna be a fool and be like, yo, as soon as he sees the guy, be like, hey, I'm so happy to see you. And then we just start fighting straight off the bat. But no, he actually starts talking to him. And again, since I don't have any footage, much footage of Kenji for you guys, I'm gonna play this whole part out so you can kind of just get a feel of his like voice actor and his character almost.
It's Kenji.
Of course. And I'm sorry about the missing stuff. I don't know what happened.
Don't worry about it, Kenji. I want to talk to you about something else.
Whatever you need, I can get.
Have you ever been to Asamo?
Many times.
On business?
Sure. Why?
I ran into a fisherman who worked at the Mongol. Said the ghost. Blacksmith in the
You believe every ghost story is here? Because of
When details the facts, right before the ghost attacked, there was a vendor in town, giving signs.
I can tell you that's no way to do it.
But a good way to make a distraction. If you're a ghost, then you need to get in and out fast.
So you think the ghost goes around disguised as a sake vendor?
No.
What is it? Get something from Azamo Bay.
Where is he?
Who?
Your friend.
I assume walking with you. I'm so happy to see you.
What?
I'm so happy to see you! He knows! I'm so happy to see you!
Kill this idiot!
So Gon the Butcher was working with the Mongols, and they show up. We dispatched their asses quickly, and Kenshi and Jin talk for some pretty nice dialogue. Kenshi actually comes to his senses about the whole swindling business thing and being, you know, Swiper the Fox and shit. So all in all, a good day, right?
I owe you my life, Lord Sakai.
You owe me more than that.
Whatever you want. A sake, a saddle polish, a nice...
Kenji, why risk your life over trifles?
Not trifles. I need food, money, a warm fire.
You helped me save Taka. Delivered medicine to people in need.
Yeah, that was heroic, wasn't it?
You have a talent, Kenji. It's time you use it. For the sake of our island.
Of course. Honor is my specialty.
So Jin and Kenji share a drink, which is all fine and dandy, all love. And that's basically it for their side quest, Yuna and Kenji. Again, Taka unfortunately doesn't have any side quests, and he actually is the least developed character in the game. But in terms of Yuna, she gets developed a little bit more throughout the main story, but her goal and focus was always to leave the island. It never really changed to leave the island. She always wanted to leave the island until Taka died. When Taka died, she had no reason to leave the island. And with Kenji, he was always a little swindler trying to get by, and we wrap his up with him actually trying to use his talents for good for once. And if you see Kenji at the, you help him, you do a side quest, you see him at the end of the, right before we raid the last castle, Castle Shimura. He's there and he's getting the battering ram. He's, manning the battering ram, training the soldiers, helping the soldiers out. So Kenji actually comes a long way. Yuna, she comes away, I guess. And yeah, that's it. Taka is just, unfortunately, his story was cut short. So the next one I'll do is probably Ishikawa. So Sensei Ishikawa, like I said before, is a bowman from the Nagao clan. He was attacked by his recent student his most recent student, actually his only student, named Tomoe. She joined the Mongols and tried to raid the nearby town of Hiyoshi Springs. But what I didn't tell you is, Jin tried to become a student of Ishikawa before, and he rejected him. And he told him, and so Jin's kind of like jealous and shit, like, why the fuck you reject me and take this bitch? And he's like, she's unmatched. Her bow is he's all in her ass, bro. Ishikawa, the way he talks about Tomoe is just, she's a killer. She'll cut you down, Jin. You're trash. And she's the fucking god. He's like, yo, bro, this bitch is garbage. And we believe that Sensei Ishikawa had left the Nagao clan because he just retired. He said he retired. But Tomoe actually sends a Mongol after Ishikawa, and she gives the Mongol a message to give to Ishikawa, which again, remember this for later, because later on this shit gets really stupid. So she sends a messenger to the guard and tells him that like, your former student is a disgrace. She has some bullshit there.
Sensei Ishikawa! You know the name Ishikawa? I do. I have message. Speak. Sensei, all of Hiyoshi Springs will beg for mercy, like the victims of Hironori Naga. Silence!
And a little more into Sensei Ishikawa's backstory. This is the previous mission. We spot Mongols using the head for target practice farther down the road. And we go over there and we fight them all. And we get ambushed, kinda. And we fight them all, and Ishikawa is nowhere to be found. Then he pops his ugly ass, his bald ass head around the corner and is like, and Jin says, yo, where the fuck was you at? Like, what's going on? And Ishikawa was like, yo, don't worry about it. Like, I train you how I see fit. And then Jin's like, I see why Tomoe almost blew your fucking head off.
Sensei, I could use your help. Your bow arm, Sensei.
Observing your response to an ambush.
You knew those Mongols were still here.
Yes.
You didn't think to mention it?
If you can't handle a few Mongols, what good will you be against Tomoe?
This is war, not a test.
And how many wars have you fought? I'll test you as I see fit.
I can see why Tomoe attacked you.
And the last thing is, Tomoe burns the Nagao clan flag, the banner, after the Hiyoshi Springs siege. So she's burning the flag, and this is also important for later, because she's burning this fucking flag and she's waving it herself. She's doing this herself. Again, these are all choices that Tomoe makes herself. So Jin is like, she's a coward. And then Ishikawa's like, no, she's mocking me. And then he actually tells you the story of what happened to his student. So the story of his student was, the one that has been going around is he died in an accident. And Sensei Ishikawa couldn't forgive himself, so he left Clan Nagao. But what actually happened was...
That's Tomoe?
Burning the Nagao banner.
We can catch her.
She'll be long gone by the time we get there. No, the last student I trained before her was Hironori Nagao.
You said he wasn't your student. Which is it?
I was young, prideful, callous. Hironori learned from my example. He led a rebellion to seize the clan and lost, but only after butchering Lord Nagao's best men.
Okay, one, did anybody notice how Tomoe is literally celebrating the burning of the flag? Like, she's waving her arms in the air. She didn't have to do this. This is, again, important. And two, I don't know. Like, Ishikawa is just, he crossed too many fucking lines with me. Like, I'm done with all the lying shit. I really didn't give a fuck about him after Act 1. Like, cut it out with all the lying. It was like useless and pointless lying too. Like, we wouldn't have cared. You could have just told Jin exactly what the fuck happened, and he wouldn't have been upset about it or anything. But he chose to lie about it, and we get to Act 2. And that's when his story kind of picks up and we actually get to see Tomoe for the first time. So in Act 2, we're supposed to meet Ishikawa at a survivor camp, some random ass camp. And he's nowhere to be found. So we ask around and they tell us that he went off somewhere. So we come to find out that he rushed off to go fight bandits. And the archers that Tomoe is training and all this bullshit. And he rushes in, which is funny because he tells us in the previous mission not to rush in. So we're like, Jin tells his ass, yo, you being stupid. Why the fuck would you rush in without me? Da 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 da. And then he almost died, actually, which was fucking crazy. If we didn't come save his ass, he would have died. And then we go to the next camp, or enclosure, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We go to the next camp, and again, Tomoe's not there. It's the same old. She's not there. We just barely missed her. We search the camp, find out that she's been training the Mongols. Same old. And there's a note left for the Khan. So Tomoe is talking to the Khan. She has talks and sends letters to the Khan. Just wait on this shit. Just wait on it.
I gave her everything, and she threw it away.
She's a threat. There is only one way this ends.
I know what must be done.
Knowing and doing are different.
You are questioning whether I am samurai?
Then also in the same fucking mission, this dumbass tells us just now in Act 2, first meeting him, he tells us, oh yeah, by the way, I actually attacked Tomoe first. What? Well, first off, he attacked her first and must have missed, and she turned around and blot his ass. What? Yo, Ishikawa, Insecuria, this nigga is trash.
Teaching to help a band of assassins. They paid well.
She attacked you.
Sakai, how does a samurai deal with an assassin?
You retaliated and attacked her.
I dealt with Tomoe as I would any common murderer.
She was your student.
I don't make exceptions, Sakai.
So then we get to the next and final mission in Act 2 for Ishikawa. There's only like 4. There's another mission that it has nothing to do with his character development or really anything interesting. We go to another camp. Tomoe we just missed her, same bullshit. But this time there's a hostage there instead of a fucking note. And the hostage says, the lady said, she'll, as soon as the samurai arrive, I'm dead. And then as soon as you're like, what? And boom, 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 she dies. Or whatever. Next mission, more important mission. Tomoe is telling people on the street that you have been robbing caravans and carriages recently, right? And this guy is like completely afraid of you in Ishikawa. And you're like, what the fuck? I don't rob carriages, I help people. This is confusing. So again, another choice Tomoe made. And we get to Ishikawa. Ishikawa's fighting off archers again because he's rushing in again. We get to Ishikawa. He's like, I found the lead on Tomoe. She's at this. Oh, we find a lead on. We go back to the village, right? So we go get the Mongols that's actually stopping the caravans, and then we go back to the village. And the lady's like, your lords, my lords, I just came from which way, and they all killed these people. They killed my people. She came from some village, and they killed everybody in the village. Tomoe and her people, and the Mongols, I should say, not her people. And we get over there, kill the Mongols, and Tomoe shows up. So we chase her on horseback, and we corner her down to this cliff. We get to the cliff, and Jin takes out his bow. He shoots a bow shot at her. Apparently she is fucking God, because she just bats away the arrow like it was nothing at all. Like it was a goddamn piece of paper, and somebody just threw a ball of paper at you. She just bats it away with one arm, one hand, like it was nothing. Then she tells us that Ishikawa is gonna betray us, she's gonna kill us, or whatever the fuck. Probably just scorn words though because of the whole problem. I'm still gonna give Ishikawa the benefit of the doubt because again, Tomoe doesn't get to. I don't care how the fuck. If you're that mad at Ishikawa, you're not gonna kill innocent people. You're not gonna shoot and use their heads for target practice. You're not gonna train the Mongols and the enemy. You're not gonna burn the flag. I mean, you would burn the flag if it was just meant for Ishikawa. You're not gonna tell the enemy the secrets of our people. That's her telling the warlord to go and tell Ishikawa about the Nagao people. You're not gonna tell your Mongols to shoot this lady as soon as we arrive on site. There's a lot of shit you're just not gonna do as Tomoe if you're just trying to get back at Ishikawa. That shit didn't make any sense to me. So she turns around, she takes like a falcon dive, leap of faith, whatever they call that shit in Assassin's Creed. She jumps in the water, and I was like, maybe the developer, I don't think so, but the developers probably, somebody out there probably thought she was dead. But hell no, I wasn't letting the bitch get away. I jumped right in the water with her ass. And of course it's video game logic, so she just was gone. She just disappeared. Even though I jumped in right after her. Like literally, I don't think the game expected you to do that. I was like, fuck that, I'm jumping, bitch. Like, where you going? Like, I'm going too. We going swimming, it's hot. Fuck it. Summer.
So you're old Sakai, the sensei's new pet.
And you're a gifted archer who had a chance at a better life and threw it away.
Is that what he told you?
Tomoe, why are we talking?
So I can warn you to watch your back. My sensei tried to kill me. He'll try the same with you.
Thanks for the warning, but I'm here to end this.
It's already over. I have nothing. No one.
Put the bow down, Tomoe. Has she lost her mind? No sign of her. I should tell Sensei Ishikawa.
So you go back, you tell Sensei Ishikawa, and he's like, well, did you have the balls to do it? You didn't have the balls to do it, huh? And then he's like, she's trying to drive a wedge between us and all this other shit. And that's Sensei Ishikawa for Act 2. And in Act 3, we meet up with bro. And he's like, been tracking Tomoe. She's south here, whatever the fuck. And that's, you just talk to him. And then you go, he has another mission out with in like the middle of nowhere with this snow. And you're searching for, you're looking at these bodies. And you're searching for Ishikawa. And you're like, oh, Japanese archer, a skilled archer did this. So it's like Ishikawa or whatever. And some lady sneaks up behind you. And she's like, Yo, what's good, bro?
Please, excuse me, my lord.
It's a bad idea to sneak up on me.
I thought you were with the man who killed these Mongols. He was samurai, but older. An archer?
Sensei Ishikawa. Where is he?
He said he'd come back to my house in a day or two.
You go on like a romantic horseback ride getaway with this bitch, and she tells you that Ishikawa is actually supposed to be coming back to her place. And yeah, that was actually very weird. But the dialogue here is actually like she's almost hitting on you and you're hitting on her. It's actually kind of strange, which is weird because Ishikawa actually mentioned settling down and having a family. That's why he's such a grumpy ass old boomer bitch.
I never made time for a family. Tomoe was to be my heir. Her crimes, I could not forgive her.
No samurai would.
So with this previous conversation, I'm over here thinking that, oh, maybe this is like Jin's way of getting like a partner, or you can marry in the game, where it's like a romance side of it. And nope, like literally when you go back to the camp or the house waiting for Ishikawa, we deduce that this bitch is Tomoe. So I don't know how Jin figured this shit out, but I was puzzled. I was like, wait, what?
Ishikawa said something similar, but it sounds more natural coming from you, Tomoe.
So this bitch has the gall to be like, yo, the Mongols betrayed me. Help me out, please. And I know they're planning an attack next. And just like, bitch, fuck you. You trained them to kill our people, blah, blah, blah. You're a dumb bitch, right? And then she's like, well, I was forced to do this. Not forced, but she said she did it to survive or some bullshit. And then Jin's like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna take it up with Ishikawa. I'm snitching on your bitch ass. And then she's like, Jin, you can stay the night. I was like, wait, what? So it kind of was like a romance thing going on. Like, what? I could stay a low key, man. Would have gotten them cheap. So we go back, snitch on Tomoe. I said Tomoe. Snitch on Tomoe to Ishikawa. And he's like, well, why the fuck is she still breathing, bitch? Ishikawa's not playing around. He's like, bitch, why is this motherfucker not dead yet? So we go, we meet up with Ishikawa. We tell him about the cabin in the woods she wants to meet up at. And we get there. And Ishikawa is not too happy at all. He's like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit you talking. You was hanging with the ops. And now you's an op, bitch. All of them niggas about to go with you. We about to send you to hell, period.
Why, tell us.
The Khan betrayed me. I'm taking my archers away.
And if we don't help you stop them, they'll wipe out Umugi Cove.
I don't believe you.
Do nothing. And watch what happens. Damn it. The Mongols followed me.
Damn you, Tomoe!
I found it instantly funny that Ishikawa was like, damn you, Tomoe, and just blamed it straight on Tomoe at the end there. But yeah, she tells us that the Khan betrayed her and she's taking her archers away. Well, what the fuck are you gonna do to make up for all the shit that you did? To me, it just sounds like we're helping her get revenge. Like, these are all it sounds like. She doesn't really want to help the people or atone for whatever the fuck she did. She just wants to take revenge on the Mongols because they actually betrayed her. Which anybody would do. That's some basic shit. So I mean, what about all the people you killed and the camps you raided and the lies you told about me running around robbing carriages at gunpoint and shit? But I mean, I guess that's just, neither here nor there. So we get to we're on our way. We're crouched stealth doing this shit Metal Gear Solid style in cardboard boxes. We're going down this the plane to Mugi Cove, and Sensei, Ishikawa, and what's the bitch name? Tomoe. They're having like a weird ass conversation, and it's like strange. Like Ichikawa was like not angry anymore. They talking about bow techniques and shit. It's like, well, I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? This bitch is just using us for revenge.
He fought back against the Mongols, Sensei.
To deceive us, so we lower our guard.
If I want to put...
So you see how right there, Ishikawa does not trust this bitch? Now look at this.
With the circling falcon shot, Sensei.
You saw that. You changed your form too.
I shift the right hand down, so when you release...
That's interesting.
And when they're questioning this bitch, they bring up the weakest fucking points. They ask her about the bitch burning, and then ask her about some other bullshit. But bro, they miss out on asking her about her burning the flag, her in talks with the Khan, all the camps, all the people she slaughtered, all the shit she's done. They just ignore it, and they're just like, well, if you were forced to do all this shit, what about the people you slaughtered at the first camp? They made me do it. Actually, I did it so they can have a quick, peaceful death. What? Okay. Then the next one. Oh, well, what about the old lady that you saw burning, or that you told him to kill? That wasn't me. That could have been anybody. What? Like, I don't understand why the fuck this shit is so stupid. Why the fuck did they not just do some Detective Batman work and just ask them why she was burning the flag? That looked like that was part of what you wanted to do. And it really looked like you was forced to do that. The flag part is the worst part. Then she told information about Ishikawa to the Mongols. She didn't have to do that. They didn't force her to do that.
Attacked me. We tracked them.
I told them to avoid you two. I had plans for a dozen more camps.
I'm glad they ignored your orders.
I lost control. By the time we set up in Kushi, I wasn't in charge.
Bitch, how did you tell them to avoid us when you literally told the little generic Mongol sword and shield captain to send Ishikawa a message about his former past student and what happened to Clan Nagao? How else would he fucking know that? So then she gives you this bullshit about how most of the time she convinced them to spare lives, not to take them. But that's fucking bullshit. These are the Mongols. They were using a severed head as target practice. I don't understand why these things aren't brought up, but whatever. don't need to be brought up. Fuck it, right? So we get to Mugi Cove. We ambush her archers. We fuck all this shit up. We do good. Good team. You know, the team's all back together. And then we look around and Tomoe's fucking missing.
Not bad, Sakai.
Where's Tomoe?
I don't know. Was she wounded?
Tomoe!
Near the end of the fight, I saw her by the archway over there.
So we chase her ass down, run to this guy. He says, oh, I saw a woman, a warrior. She ran down to the beach or whatever. So we run down to the beach, and Tomoe's already on a boat, skipping off, ducking off on us, and she's getting away. And Ishikawa's about to blow her fucking head off. He pulls back the bow, and Jin finds a note left by Tomoe on the floor. And for some reason, all is forgiven after Sensei Ishikawa reads this note.
We have judged each other harshly, but the Buddha tells us that our greatest enemies can be our best teachers.
I am grateful for your teaching and for the chance to fight by your side a final time. I have been your student. I would have become your daughter, but the way of the bow is behind me now. What lies ahead? I am like an arrow shot from a bow. Who knows where the wind will take me?
It's over.
After completing the side quest, she leaves you this. You get a new bow skin. The way, like the bow, it's a snake skin or some shit like that, which is fucking damn. You're damn right, it's a snake skin, snaky ass bitch. But yeah, I was really disappointed about this because this was Ishikawa's whole backbone, his bread and butter. Like, we have to stop Tomoe, and we finally get to, and it never happened. Like, none of a bunch of the shit that she did goes unanswered. But okay, it's cool. She used this for revenge. At the very end, she still used this. Got away because she knew damn well, like, she had a lot to answer for. Them other questions, the other answers she gave us wasn't shit. If I got a hold of her ass, I'm asking them questions. So she just ducked off after the fight, and she's going to wherever the fuck the wind and waters and waves takes her. So, in terms of Ishikawa's storyline, though, like, he didn't really develop any. He's still Ishikawa. I guess his development was he forgave her at the end, but it didn't change nothing. At the end, he's still Ishikawa. Like, he's sometimes an asshole, sometimes a liar, and yeah, he doesn't have a family. So I think it would have changed something if he would have started a family, settled down or something. We could have had like another side mission where it's just checking in on him, and you know, he's starting to find a girl and all this other shit. That could have been, you know, helpful, but unfortunately no. And Sensei Ishikawa has no development.
We have judged each other harshly, but the Buddha tells us that our greatest enemies can be our best teachers.
I am grateful for your teaching and for the chance to fight by your side a final time. I have been your student. I would have become your daughter, but the way of the bow is behind me now. What lies ahead? I am like an arrow shot from a bow. Who knows where the wind will take me?
It's over.
After completing the side quest, she leaves you this. You get a new bow skin. The way, like the bow, it's a snake skin or some shit like that, which is fucking damn. You're damn right, it's a snake skin, snaky ass bitch. But yeah, I was really disappointed about this because this was Ishikawa's whole backbone, his bread and butter. Like, we have to stop Tomoe, and we finally get to, and it never happened. Like, none of a bunch of the shit that she did goes unanswered. But okay, it's cool. She used this for revenge. At the very end, she still used this. Got away because she knew damn well, like, she had a lot to answer for. Them other questions, the other answers she gave us wasn't shit. If I got a hold of her ass, I'm asking them questions. So she just ducked off after the fight, and she's going to wherever the fuck the wind and waters and waves takes her. So, in terms of Ishikawa's storyline, though, like, he didn't really develop any. He's still Ishikawa. I guess his development was he forgave her at the end, but it didn't change nothing. At the end, he's still Ishikawa. Like, he's sometimes an asshole, sometimes a liar, and yeah, he doesn't have a family. So I think it would have changed something if he would have started a family, settled down or something. We could have had like another side mission where it's just checking in on him, and he's starting to find a girl and all this other shit. That could have been helpful, but unfortunately no. And Sensei Ishikawa has no developing story. In terms of how fun it wasn't even that fun. Like, we go camp to camp and she would just barely be there, and it was like, okay, whatever, like, that's not really that cool. So the next person we meet is Misako, Lady Misako from the Adachi clan. You meet Misako when you go up to, I think I said this before, when you go up to her estate and everybody's dead, you follow her to the cemetery, find out that her clan is been slaughtered, and it's like a big ass conspiracy plot. Afterwards you find out that, she says, I'll lend you my blade if you help me find revenge on the people who killed my family. So basically Misako has a innovative, one-of-a-kind revenge story. Yeah, a revenge story. I mean, at least you pretend to be Batman a little. You gotta find a bunch of people and it was you and all this shit. But it's not really anything special about it, honestly. Because the only thing, there's no character development for her either. Because the whole time, the biggest problem with Misako is she's blinded by revenge. So anyways, we get to the Golden Temple, right, to find information on her clan's killers, and we meet a monk named Sogen. And it was so fucking obvious that Sogen worked with the Mongols. Like, his voice actor was trash at lying. I was like, wait, what? Like, it was you, motherfucker. Like, it's you.
Adachi was attacked. She is the only survivor.
The Mongols.
Traitors. Our own people.
How horrible.
Has anyone suspicious passed through the temple? A group of armed men?
Not that I've seen, but my duties keep me far too busy.
Yeah, just looking at his facial expressions, listening to his tone, looking at his they were all just fucking abysmal and insincere. I like that word. It's the word of the day, abysmal. Lady Adachi also tells us that to meet her outside, and it turns out that she already expected Sogen to be a culprit in the master plot. So we tell his ass out, and this is where her bloodlust for fucking revenge comes out.
Leave you for the wolves.
We need him alive to tell us who he serves.
Our world has changed. Men of vision must rise to face it, and those in the way must be removed.
They were children!
Masako!
So she just chops this motherfucker down right when we're about to get information. Before, like, you could have waited like 5 seconds. No, just me. Like, no, you couldn't have waited like 2 more seconds, 3 more seconds before he said anything. Tortured him a little, got some information out of his ass. But I guess not, right? But that's literally the whole theme for her whole little quest or whatever. And I understand that her emotion of anger is hard to control given the circumstance. However, that man was much more useful alive, and now we have to play Batman again. So this happens time after time throughout the quest line. Like I said, we find a list of names of people involved in the massacre after we kill Sogen. And we fast forward. Well, don't really fast forward, but the next mission is we tell the brother of this other guy on the list named Sadao. And Sadao leads a group of bandits and had a minor feud with the Adachi clan. Again, these things it's a theme in this one. Yeah, he leads us to soldiers, and after we tell the soldiers, so the brother leads us, we tell the brother leads us to soldiers. We're like, well, fuck the brother, he ain't shit. And we tell the soldiers, and we find the main goons' little camp, their hideout, and Sadao's not there, but Sadao's wife is there. So we capture Sadao's wife, take her back as prisoner, and yeah, we go from there.
Lady Masako plans to kill me. I can see it in her eyes.
I won't let her hurt you. But I need your help.
I
After capturing Sadao's wife and holding her prisoner, we're asking her questions, and she's too fucking paranoid to answer shit because she's scared of Misako. So okay, we walk around the corner and we start getting some more backstory about Misako and her family and things.
What?
My grandchildren would make songs with me here to celebrate the changing of the seasons. I will never hear them play again.
So after this beautiful fucking flute solo that I was playing, we hear screams coming from where her wife, clan, whatever the fucking Sodo, Sadao, Soap, whatever his name is, his wife. She screams or whatever, and we go over there, and it turns out she's dead. Somebody just went in there and just cut her ass clean open, and it's fucked up. But we find out that Misako actually was purposely seen with Sadao's wife in order to bait the killers to come and rescue her. So she was walking around like, yo, look, walking slowly, leaving tracks and shit. Misako is some slimy ass shit sometimes.
We had her.
It was a long journey from the woodcutter. Many people saw her with me.
You made sure they did. You used her as bait.
I hoped her husband would take it.
Why did you kill Hina?
Tried to free her. She wouldn't leave. Wanted to save Sadao. She screamed for you. I didn't mean to.
Where's your brother?
And she screamed because I don't know why. If he came to help her, I don't know why she would scream. Maybe Sadao is really an asshole. But she screamed for us and her captives, capti, something like that. And she screamed for us, and he killed her ass. So we chase his ass down. He ends up being dead. He has a supply route map. After sniffing it out, we discover Sadao's hiding at a fucking lighthouse built by Clan Adachi. So they killed off Clan Adachi, and now they're seizing all like their assets and shit.
Killed Hina, my brother!
They died because of you!
You should have died with your family!
I wish I had!
You killed Sadao. Masako.
He helped kill everyone I loved.
So after killing them, there's actually a bonus mission kinda, and this is the first of the first and only of these bonus missions of Misako, where you go to the beach where her sons are and you help her find her son's body and you bury them with her. Now you trail this beach, and this beach has a bunch of soldiers that are just dead, left on the beach, all this types of shit. All the clan flags are down or whatever. They just burnt, messed up, ripped and torn. And we find her sons, and they are the only two people hanging. Like the Mongols took these two people and hung them from a tree. Like they were the only two. The Mongols don't hang many people. They just hung these mother. They found the time in the war to just hang their ass for no reason. It didn't make any sense, but I guess no, it just doesn't make any sense. They could have been on the ground and we still would have recognized them.
Shigesato! Yasanari! Strung up like animals.
We find this bitches. So where's my respect? We find her sons hanging from a tree, and that's actually weird. But after that, that's honestly it. We take them to this lighthouse. We bury them at a lighthouse because that's where they like to play as kids. And Misako, and is overrun by Mongols, so that's your form of combat for that mission. And yeah, that's it for Act 1 with Misako. She's really a quick, like 5 missions. She has the longest storyline out of all of them, I believe, but Act 1 goes by very fast. Act 2 goes by a little slower. So Misako picks up. I don't know. Act 1 was actually pretty interesting to find out there was the list and all this other shit, but Act 2 kind of might draw it out a little bit, honestly. So then in Act 2, the first time we meet up with Misako, she's bullying some nigga named Junshin at a temple for information. And Junshin knows nothing about nothing that's going on. And he's like, what the fuck? And she doesn't want to talk to her. So we gotta go over there and we have to talk to Junshin. And we ask him questions about the guy, that's the next guy on the list, and he tells us that he was kicked out of he tells us where he is. He's a fisherman or whatever with his wife, and he's a good guy and all this other shit. And apparently we find out by Masako that he was kicked out of the clan by Masako, just like Sadao, for beating his wife. When we arrive at the beach, it appears that the man Kashiwada, I think his name is Kashiwada. Kashiwada killed his wife and his child with a blade. We follow the footprints to Kashiwada around the corner. This nigga's hiding literally around the corner from the murder scene.
Kashiwada!
Daughter! Quiet, snake! We know you killed them. Out of love. Better me than the Mongols. It's what they wanted. You sick I know is. He understood.
Understood what?
How it feels to be ruined by you. How I was driven to poverty. The toll it took on my family.
I couldn't stand to hear another word.
Everything he said was a lie.
This is stupid. Masako, when will you learn? So it seems like Masako is wanted by all the people that she previously kicked out of her clan. So they all want to stage a coup to kill her. So all we have to do is find a leader and take him out. It's simple. The next time we see Masako, she's been standing in like this place for 4 days with no sleep or some shit. And Jin's like, man, you know what? You really need some fucking rest. And it's taking a toll on her mental and physical health. And she's like, nah, I don't need no fucking rest. Rest is for bitches.
How long have you been here?
Not long enough.
You need some rest.
What I need is justice for my family's murder.
So after she tells us that she'll rest when she's dead, we find out that the man that we're looking for is named Umura. And instead of him showing up, his two sons do. They split up, and we take one that seems to discuss his diabolical plans out loud. Like, he's just sitting around, oh, wait, yeah, but those Adachi guys, and then another. Like, what the fuck? You can't think all this shit in your head? You gotta say it out loud.
But he doesn't remember what Adachi did to us, to you. By morning, I'll have enough money to make up for what they took from you 1,000 times over.
So thanks to that dumbass, now we know he's involved with the Adachi murders, and the other son isn't. So that's cool. It's a tragedy since they both meet the same end, because they meet up with this guy that's supposed to be paying them for they supposed to be compensating them for what they did. And
I hope we haven't kept you waiting.
Which one of you is Omura?
That would be me.
We do.
No, Omada's mine.
it almost seems like we will never be able to probe these humans for information. They always get away from us right at the end, right when we're about to get some juicy info. Anyways, we kill these bandits. We find some notes. They basically set up each other. So the son sent the note like saying, "Pay me or I snitch." And then they sent the letter back saying, "Yo, all right, we'll pay you." Then the leader, the person who organized the coup against Masako, sends the bandits a message saying, "This is your target. Kill their ass. They're gonna snitch on us. They're ratting this out." So Misako is still out here horny for the blood. I don't understand why she just doesn't give up on this shit. She's just a big ass bad cop role, and she plays it badly. So there are these innocent monks that have nothing to do with anything, and Masako's like half-baked theory as he jumps to conclusions after conclusions after conclusions, like a middle-aged divorced wife seeking love for the next time, and she's unsure of her partner. And she's she goes back to Junsen or whatever. She's like, Junsen is the guy. It's his fault. It's like, wait, hold on. What, Junsen? Like the same guy we met that you was bullying the fuck out of in the beginning?
Where's Junshin?
Lady Masako!
Speak, monk! Please stop! Where is Junshin?
Masako, what are you doing?
Helping this monk find his tongue.
So she tells us and gives us her word that she wants her Junshin, which is, All right, thanks, Misako. And then she questions her fucking, well, what would you do if they offered you a Klondike bar? You're like, wait, hold on, bitch. You just gave me your word you wouldn't try to eat the Klondike.
We will get to the bottom of this by talking to Junshin.
You have my word.
We agreed to talk to him.
The men who killed my family talked with their swords.
Masako, you will not kill Junshin until we're certain of his guilt.
Your father was murdered. Did you talk with his killer?
It's like, nah, fuck all that. It's like, all right, I already see what this bitch is gonna do. So, we save Junsen. So, he's being captured at a temple, right? We save Junsen. And he's like at a Buddha temple or whatever. We get in there, we bring him out. And this motherfucker doesn't get a ray of sun on his face before.
Masako!
Stand aside, Jin.
Now, why does this wrinkly ass prune in the Alabama sun bitch not ask any fucking questions? Are you fucking? I don't know. That bitch is like stupid. So you know what happens next? You know what happens next? That ass gets clapped. Yes, she tries to fight us. We clap her ass right here. And actually, the first time I did this battle, I lost. And if you lose, she actually kills you. So she's like trying to kill us because we didn't let her kill Junshin, even though she gave us her word that she was gonna kill Junshin. And while we're doing all this, the Mongols are approaching, and I'm fighting this bitch. Why? Because she's fucking retarded. I apologize for using that word. She's fucking stupid, mentally challenged. What the fuck's wrong?
You gave me your word.
When I looked at Junshin, all I saw were my dead grandchildren. Their faces after being cut down. And you were protecting him.
So you tried to kill me? Have you lost your mind?
I have lost everything.
No. You've sacrificed everything. For revenge.
And what do you feel when you think of Juzo?
So we body her old arthritis having ass, and she's like, oh, well, do you trust me? And I'm like, no, bitch, not at all. Well, anyways, we go meet up with Junshin, she almost took the fuck off. And Junshin's like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Like, I'm sorry, but he gives us a little bit of information, but he didn't know shit. So she would end up killing this motherfucker for no reason. Oh, actually, I apologize. I just remembered. He gives us the grandest piece of information. This is the kick in the head. It turns out the person that's organizing Lady Misako's clan murder is her fucking sister.
Hana.
Liar!
Masako, wait. Who is Lady Hana?
My sister. She was massacred with the rest of my family.
She visited me 2 nights ago, wore a crimson kimono with a golden sash. I remember. She smelled of chrysanthemum.
No.
I never told her anything about you. I swear it.
Wow. Isn't that wild? So we go over there, and that's in Act 3, but I think she owes Junshin an apology. Does anybody else think she owes Junshin a fucking apology? Junshin did nothing wrong at all, and yet she's blaming Junshin for this shit. But this one was so weird that it was so like half cocked, half baked. He's not on the list. He doesn't do anything. He's a monk. He's a leader of the monks, so you know he's like honorable in some way. Why the fuck are you? He's like head monk. Like, why are you fucking trying to get Junshin? This is fine, because Act 3. Guess what? She only has one damn mission, so we're getting rid of Miss Misako. Actually, after she tried to fight us, I was kind of done on her ass. Like, I don't, like, nah, you don't ever betray me like that. She was gonna kill you too. Like, when you die, she puts the sword in your back and shit. She's cold. So, anyways, Misako's already tracked her sister Hina. Her sister name is Hina, to a fort of some sorts in the mountains, and we raid the fort for a unique mission. This is unique, where we fight other samurai. But their attacks aren't much different than not the sword hats. What are they called? Straw hats. They're not much different than straw hats and bandits and shit. So we get to like this main hall type place, and we see Hina for the first time, or Hana. One of them motherfuckers, Hina or Hana, Hinata or Hanabi. The first time in their conversation isn't pretty. You know, the first time they meet, she's like, yeah, bitch. Yo, bitch, I killed them all, motherfucker. It's like, oh my god. So anyways, he says Hannah was the older sister, so she was to marry. Oh, this is the backstory that we get from the thing. So apparently the reason why Hannah is upset is because Hina or Hannah, I'm gonna mix up names all the time, but she was supposed to marry she was the older sister, so she was supposed to marry, you know, like the samurai clan leaders or whatever. She was supposed to marry one of those, right? It turns out that the bandits attacked their village, the Adachi clan village, and the samurai warriors came over to help. Like the samurai warriors came over to help, but while the bandits are attacking, Hina ran and hid, and Misako picked up a sword and fought. So when the samurais rolled up and the clan leader was there, he saw her fighting motherfuckers. So she's like, man, I need that bitch. That bitch is going fucking nuts. So we meet so then Hannah married, or Misako marries the samurai guy, and Hina and Misako, this is fucked up. Misako arranges a marriage for Hina with this random guy or whatever, which is weird because she's the younger sister and she's telling her older sister to go marry this person, and she's arranging marriages and shit. And he was a wealthy man. He was like, he had a good reputation or whatever. But apparently we learned from Hina a little later that he was actually a woman abuser and a drinker, and she lived a horrible life with this guy. It was horrible. It was terrible.
Drove me from our home, took the life that was rightfully mine, left me with that abusive drunk in this frozen land. You would have to suffer an eternity of pain to understand the life I've lived. None of that is my fault. It is! And damn you for acting as if it isn't. You've come to kill me, so finish this. It will be your only kindness. I can't end your suffering, but you can.
So after having the whole picture on why Clan Adachi was betrayed, the killers felt it was due to Masako's treatment of them, but Masako claims each one deserved to be banished from the clan for something. So the first guy, he was stealing or some shit. I think he was stealing, and I think you deserve to get your ass kicked out for that. The next one, what did the next one do? They all did something that was kind of worse. Oh, the next one, he was beating his wife. I think he deserved to get kicked out for that. And then there's another one that, actually there's like a hidden little thing where you find out Misako is actually having an affair with a woman, and she had to kick her ass out because she didn't want to get caught. Now that's selfish. Now that's the wrong one. So that lets you know Misako's a little shiesty, you know what I'm saying? But you know, her sister kills herself, and we end up burning her body in, you know, respects. And Misako is not too happy because her family is like literally all the way dead. So, but after hearing Hana explain her side of the story, maybe everyone didn't deserve it after all. So it seems as though Misako likes to be in charge and at the forefront. Like she kind of does. She doesn't tell us her plans. She just makes plans randomly. She never listens to us when we told her not to kill the hostages. And she, like I said before, she always has her own underlying plan without telling us. Like that's the biggest drawback. And yeah, on top of all that, she tried to kill Jin. So yeah, fuck Masako. But her character didn't develop any at all. If you know, at all. So she just was hellbent and hungry on revenge the whole time, and it didn't really, you know, help her cause or whatever. It was just every time she did that stupid ass shit where she killed people, it stopped us and hindered us from getting information. So thanks, Masako. But in terms of gameplay and how fun it was, this is actually fun. I liked her little gameplay or her story arc missions. They were actually pretty fun to play, and they weren't that bad. They weren't as boring as Ishikawa's. Ishikawa was pretty boring, and Yuna and Yuna and Kenji's, they weren't long enough to really judge on gameplay. But Misako she had a fun gameplay, just no character development. Alright, so next up in this story is Avatar Aang, but he likes to be called Norio. I don't know why. We meet Norio or Aang at the fort you take back with Shimura right before you light the lighthouse up. and he tells you that he was trapped in this big ass hole for 30 days, 40 days, 40 nights, no food, no water, some real Bible type shit.
Ambushed and taken captive, shoved into a covered pit, no food, so dark I couldn't see my hands in front of my face.
He asked us to go to Cedar Temple. That's like his main temple. He asked us to go to like the Eastern Air Temple to save the other warrior monks. And he's also not big on revenge, so that's good. It's a little different. And you know, but that's just for now, I guess. We'll see when we see, you know. And the Mongols, we get to Cedar Temple, we'll find out that the Mongols have taken a peaceful monk named Hoichi. And Hoichi detests violence, unlike the other humans in this realm or this earth. What do they call this planet Earth? Yeah, Hoichi actually detests violence, like the other humans. And the Mongols took him for his influence, and they already knew who he was, and he came peacefully, which is interesting. So he wanted to heal, like Hoichi wanted to heal everybody, basically. And the other monks, and they took other monks hostage as well.
Is anyone hurt?
We're all right, my lord.
Where is Hochi?
A different group took him. Norio. They knew Hochi's name. And they mentioned Cedar Temple.
So a little later on in the story, you find out that they know exactly why Hoichi was influential and exactly who he was a little later in the story. And that's actually a little fucked up. But a different group of Mongols end up taking Hoichi than they did the other monks. So we find the other monks on the road somewhere, and they took Hoichi somewhere else. So the next mission, we meet Norio again. We get like a sob story of no other, and even given our own little story. It's like a real fucking touching moment. It's a real touching moment, if I do say so myself. And we get another trail on Hoichi because we still haven't found him. We took him on the other Mongols, who apparently opposes violence so much he is against the samurai and warrior monks. This is actually very interesting. And we sneak into this camp to find out that Hoichi is going to be transported tomorrow to Cedar Temple to heal the people there, even the enemy. And Hoichi's like, yeah, no, you can't free me. I'm staying here. I got motherfuckers to heal, bro. I got niggas to fix, cuts to bandage, emotional wounds to discuss, and talk about burdens to lift. Fuck you talking about let me out and be free.
I can't leave. The Mongols are returning me to Cedar Temple. The people there need healers, badly.
There's no time for this.
I'm sorry, but I must remain here.
Jin! Hochi!
Turn back to the temple, and then that's a city defense mission, and it's the only one of its kind. And it was boring as fuck. They have these like lanterns and traps that you can set up and use, but yeah, that shit was actually really fucking boring. But and it was like really lifeless, void of soul. No, it was horrible. Oh yeah, and Hoichi dies randomly. So we tell all the people to go over to this abandoned little temple place. It's like a fucking rundown building, and everybody's hiding out over there, and Norio's defending it over there. So Norio is fighting everybody, and Hoichi Norio tells us that Hoichi jumped in front of a blade that was meant for Norio. Like his back was turned, and Hoichi jumped in front of the blade, and he got stabbed, and he dies. Which is sad, because if I was there, I would have just parried it and just killed everybody. So yeah, Norio, that's your fault for being trash. And Norio told him to stay back since he won't fight. I don't know why is Hoichi out there fighting any damn way? That doesn't make sense. So after Hoichi's death, Norio wants to go to Kushi Temple. And after reaching there, we find out that their abbot's missing. The abbot is like the head preacher monk. And however, the Mongols stole a Buddha. This is a little different. They stole like this big ass Buddha carved out of a meteor. What the fuck? They balling out of control in Kushi Temple. They got a Buddha carved out of a meteor. I don't know why the Mongols would know to take that though. That would be stupid. But the other monks at Kushi Temple, they don't even fuck with Norio like that. That shit was crazy.
We'll return the statue and save this temple.
Not even your brother could keep that promise, Norio.
So we retrieved the Buddha back, and now we're back on the Abbot's Trail. And you know, you go to this place that you go back to this village, and apparently the warrior monks, or not the warrior monks, the abbot was held in his house, and they burned down the house. And the abbot actually ends up escaping, and you follow his tracks. You follow his tracks all the way up to this big ass river or whatever. Mongols are there. You fuck the rebels. I was gonna say the rebels, the Mongols and the rivers together. You fuck the Mongols up, and you jump off the river because that's the only way the abbot could have went. And we find him, and he's dead. So that's a very sad day that the leader of these monks is dead.
Is he? I'm sorry, Norio. Without his leadership, the monks will leave.
However, we find a sutra that he writ in his own blood right next to him. So before he died, he wrote this poem for his other monks to see.
A lotus sutra, written in the abbot's blood. His final act.
Like a samurai's death poem.
The point of this sutra is that we can all be Buddhas. From the lowest peasant to the greatest noble.
So this is good to me because it shows the dedication of this abbot, and it was also a bunch of hope, not a bunch of hope, but it was also hope that we could have brought back to the other monks, tell them to keep going, because they were going to give up without their abbot. They were giving up without their leader. I don't understand how that works, but go ahead, more power to you. Then we find out that the monks are, not the monks, the Mongols are attacking Kushi Temple. They're attacking Kushi Temple next. So while we go up to Kushi Temple to start doing defenses, we're like, Norio's like, no, we tell them, get the monks and take them to the river so they're not hurt or harmed. And Norio's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not leaving this temple right here. And Jin's like, come on, we gotta save these monks. And Norio's like, no, I gotta help save the relics. So we end up going by ourselves. So, you know, fuck Norio. And we end up fighting these Mongols at the riverbed or the beach, wherever we were at. We start fighting the Mongols up, fucking their ass up. And then Norio brings his ass and starts fighting and helping us, which I could have handled myself. I'm not mad if you don't want to help me, bitch. I can handle it myself. So we start fucking shit up with Norio. And then we go back to the temple. The Mongols have invaded the temple. They didn't destroy anything yet, so that's good news. And we end up beating the Mongols, repelling the attack. And that's it. Good as day. Everything's good. Right as rain. Everything's peaceful. We're all good. Yeah, no problems here, folks. And by the way, I just want to take the time out to say Norio's a fucking champ. He lost his brother to the other warrior monks and the other warrior monks from his temple. He lost Hoichi, the abbot, the priceless Moonanite Buddha, because they destroyed it at the when they raided Kushi Temple. I forgot to mention that they destroyed the priceless Moonanite Buddha, and he still isn't bloodthirsty on revenge. Something's wrong. Perhaps in Act 3. So in Act 3, after we're branded a traitor, we find Norio has changed his ways. Interesting, huh? Instead of thinking, what will Buddha do? He asked himself, how can he be like the ghost? Which is stupid. The abbot in his sutra wrote, we can all be like Buddha. It's just peaceful, love each other type. I love that. I love that type of vibe. This is good vibes right there. Good, you know the vibes. But now he's saying shit like be ruthless and strike from the shadows. He's telling the other monks to go along with what the Mongols say so they can live and shit. Shit's weird. Jin's surprised. I'm surprised, but I kind of thought it was a decent plan.
We take back Cedar Temple. He told us to keep cooperating, so they don't suspect us.
That doesn't sound like Norio.
Really? But you inspire everything he does. He always talks about what he learned from the ghost.
So after we meet up with him, he confirms these things, these rumors. He is planning an attack on Cedar Temple now. Conveniently, when we get there, he's planning this attack like right when we get there. So the next mission when we meet up with Norio is go raid Cedar Temple. So yeah, I mean, I guess we lucked out. But so we go to Cedar Temple and we have another siege type mission where we take our fort back from the Mongols. It was actually a pretty dope mission. I don't mind it. Norio's mission is a lot of combat. And his side story, it's a lot of combat. Did not complain about the combat. After we beat the after we beat the Mongols at this temple, some guy comes up to him and is like, Norio, my lord, don't go in the he says, don't go in the main temple. He's like, what are you talking about? Is it destroyed? And yeah, just you can peep this for yourself.
Nothing damaged or stolen.
Norio.
Angel? When they took you out of the pit, I thought...
It's motherfucking Angel. The Mongols have been torturing for information for, it seems like, months. Like, this guy's a fucking... You can only crawl on his chin. This shit is, like... This is actually the most gruesome the game gets, but this is odd. But I actually, now that I think about it, it's not so odd because they wanted the next thing to happen. So it's whatever. But Angel requests death, and Norio asks for a second alone with his brother. You know, they give him a final pardon, and unfortunately, Norio catches the revenge bug. Just like Adachi, Ishikawa, and Yuna. It's a sad day, I know. But a monk tells us that Norio's at a local cemetery, but in my game, this is actually funny. In my game, Norio was literally walking around the Cedar Temple still. Like, the game doesn't have that many bugs like that, but he was actually walking around Cedar Temple still. So I'm like, wait, hold on, wait. What cemetery, my nigga? This nigga's right here.
It's in the hills to the south.
I'll look for him there. Thank you.
But anyways, these are trivial things. So then Norio's character is just utterly destroyed. It's just revenge. Then he has the audacity to say he's turning into the ghost. Bitch, no. One thing I can say about Jin is Jin always has his emotions under control.
I don't want you to become like what? You? Like so many others who have been changed by this war.
It's far too late for that, my lord.
I completely understand why he's upset, but his whole arc was teaching patience, togetherness, peaceful times, you know, the Hoichi, the abbot, him bringing together Kushi Temple, also the higher power he prays to. It's just downward spiral in his fucking arc. So we rest to attack the camp that Nori, the guy that did this to his brother, he's at a camp, and we're resting to attack this camp. And when we awake, we find that Norio is gone. You know, surprise. So then the whole fort is burning, like it was, like he went into the fucking Avatar state. Like everything's burning, everything's on fire. The monks are running. I don't know why the monks are at a Mongol camp, but the monks are running away. Hey, my lord, Norio went mad. He's crazy. Da, da, da. So when we arrive, he kills the fucking Gob Schnob or the Gob Quora or whatever the fuck his fucking name is. The bum ass Mongol that killed Injo and ruined our favorite guy's story arc. But worst of all, his last cutscenes. Well, first off, he disrespected me again.
You once told me you would never swing your Naginata in hatred.
I did what the ghost would do. And now Harsho is gone.
Second, he tries to abandon Cedar Temple, which is literally his only goal.
The last warrior monk of Cedar Temple.
I can't go back to what I was before this.
I'm not asking you to go back. I'm asking you to keep your faith and move forward.
Third, he is talking like a fucking Fire Lord instead of Aang. And at least Jin makes an attempt to heal Norio. However, he's just on fucking dirt mode saying, I can't. Like, bitch, nigga, get your ass up, bro. Like, stand up, fuck, pussy boy. So then, luckily, Jin convinces him to go back to the temple, and that's it. Norio questline, which was much more satisfying than Ishikawa's. Like, we get to see a prideful warrior monk who is strong in his foundation of beliefs until he is shaken by the earthquake and tremor after tremor, and it shatters his whole resolve until his inner plates are shifted to the end. Yeah, writing those haikus in the game, you know, made me feeling like Maya Angelou out in this bitch. Still our rise, motherfucker. What's up? But in terms of character development, he actually has some. I may not have liked it, but I'm not gonna say he doesn't have any, because he goes from peaceful warrior monk to revenge. He changes. It's a little character development. He develops. He doesn't change. I mean, he changes drastically, which isn't natural, but you know, you get some character development there. The missions were fun as fuck. I liked the missions. I liked the lore and behind it. I like the little the religious not religious, but like the you know, meditation and all that behind it. I like the abbot, what he signifies, what the other monks signify, what Hoichi signified. I liked all of that shit. That was all really good, and really good story, really good writing. Yeah, I give Norio has the best side quests throughout the whole game, but I mean that kicks it for really all the side quests. Honestly, there's nothing else to do for, in terms of people. They have regular side missions and shit, but the side missions are actually really like dull and boring. My lord, there's Mongols over here. You go over there and you kill the Mongols. You come back and they're like, oh, thank you. And then, oh, my lord, I heard a rumor about there being demons or kappa in the forest. And you go in the forest, it's just regular Mongols and bandits. And yeah, they kind of dropped the ball on the magic shit, like I said before, but it's all good. Norio's complete. I like Norio's story. I like the other side missions. They also have extra side activities like the water, the little springs, hot springs. They got fox dens. They got temples you can climb up and shit. It's a nice, neatly packed game. Like I said before, 40 hours for $60 is not bad at all. And I'm recording this a little bit later. Like, it took me a while to record this, but they're actually releasing a multiplayer. So if the multiplayer is released, I'm about to review that shit right now. So all in all, the game has excellent combat, has a pretty decent story. It's kind of lacking in side missions and side quests, but the environments, it makes up for it in environments and visuals and lore alone. Even though you don't really read too much in the lore, hearing about it through stories and people telling you their Chinese and Japanese traditions, Japanese traditions, they're actually really entertaining, and it's fresh. You don't get too many Japanese games, right? Not in America, huh? Because of, you know, the previous war, you know, politics and shit. But we don't really get too much of these types of games. I mean, Sekiro doesn't really count, does it? It's like fantasy. But this game is actually really good. And if I was to give it like a rating out of 10, probably be a 9 out of 10. Maybe an 8 out of 10, I'm not gonna lie. It's a good game. I don't know if it's like super duper great. The visuals alone don't carry it to a 9 out of 10. It's more like an 8, yeah. It's a good game. It's like really good. Probably 8.5 if you give it decimal points. I don't know if I'm gonna do that shit. This is my first review, by the way, but I don't know if I'm gonna give it like decimal points and shit. But one thing I will recommend is you definitely pick it up at full price. This game is worth the full $60. You get all the bang for your buck. I would suggest that you wait to buy it at a discounted price or anything like that. If you can, I'll obviously do that, but this game is worth the $60. It's worth your money. It's worth your purchase. It's worth your time as well. So it doesn't disappoint. I like this game. Ghost of Tsushima. They did a really good job with the game. You know, amazing job with the game. And thank you for watching this, you know, review, this episode of Wolf Invades. I promise they'll get better as I get better with this YouTube shit. I changed mics mid fucking review. I know it sounds like weird. Sometimes I have my fan on in the background. I record a couple things with gum in my mouth. Oh my gosh, I'm a little trash right now, guys. You gotta bear with me, please. Grow with me on this journey. We help each other. But you know, I love you guys. You know, hit the like button to show the Wolfpack some love. Subscribe to join the Alien Invasion. Hope you guys stay good and awesome. Shout out the Wolves and the Martians. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Do the ice cream and cake.